What is going on, guys? It is Big Mike here. We are back today with another Slow Bros podcast, and it has been a hot minute. It's been over a month, maybe even 2 months since the last episode, and we're finally back. And today we're back with a special guest by the name of ZombieDawg. How are you doing today, ZombieDawg?
I'm doing great, man. How are you, Big Mike? I
I'm I'm excited.
yeah.
I'm really fucking excited to
Yeah.
start the podcast again because I was obsessed with this thing. It was literally all I thought about for a solid 3 months or so, and I can't believe I haven't made an episode in so long. It's
I mean, I appreciate I'm the one that can welcome you back.
Thank
So,
you.
it's a privilege of mine, so I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. So you gotta introduce yourself for people that don't know you. I
Yeah.
know a lot of people in the community do know you, but who are you and why are you here?
Well, I'm ZombieDawg. I do round speed runs mainly on BO3. I mean, I have the direct stick on BO2, but mainly BO3. I sometimes do high rounds, but I stream on Twitch mainly also. I got into the community back in May, and ever since then, just been grinding out records on Twitch, and there's nothing else to it. I talk to a lot of BO1 players. I have no idea what I'm talking about when I talk to them, though. So I mean, you know, we're
Yeah,
just chilling doing round speed runs. That's that's really it.
Yeah, I didn't know who you were until maybe a month or two ago. Whenever Obey Undead was going on, I found
Yeah,
out who you were, and then all of a sudden I start seeing like ZombieDawg record here, ZombieDawg record
yeah.
there, getting all these fucking speedruns. It's
I,
crazy.
I gotta credit that to tacos, to be honest. Tacos underscore cheese. He back in like I'm being dead ass, dude. Back in like December, he taught me so much.
Mhm.
It's crazy because I didn't know. I thought round speedruns were just like high rounds, to be honest.
Mhm.
But I mean, they're definitely not. There's definitely stuff in round speedruns that are way different compared to high rounds. I mean, I gotta definitely thank him for that. He's definitely the reason I got all those records. Excited, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely.
I met Tacos a while ago. He seems like a pretty cool guy, and like he was the main round speedrunner that I saw
Yeah,
doing stuff for the longest time, and then you came out of nowhere.
yeah.
All right. So I'm just gonna ask a few questions, get to know you a little bit better. How long have you been playing video games?
A long time. So I'd probably say like, so I'm 16. So I started playing video games probably like I want to say like 2009. I had like a PSP, so I was like 4
Mm-hmm.
probably. I had a PSP. I'd play WWE 2K9. Randy Orton on the cover of my PSP. Game was fire. And then after that, obviously playing Xbox with my brother a lot, playing 2K. Uh, Definitely cried a lot because he used to beat me.
Mm-hmm.
But then all that, I mean, it all just folded into one. I first played zombies back in BO2. I remember watching Syndicate, Lamau Syndicate.
Syndicate.
I watched Syndicate get to like round 40 on town. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, damn. Sorry, I started playing zombies a lot here and there, and then back in like 2017, I got really big into zombies, watching all the Sea House videos, and then
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So yeah, you've definitely been playing video games for a while and been in the community for a while too,
well,
cause
not like competitive community. I'd say Mr. T Lexify, Noah J. I would watch back in like
mhm,
2017.
yeah,
Yeah, so I mean,
just the overall community. What most people
yeah,
are in, not our friends necessarily, but
yeah.
most people who play zombies and consider themselves in the zombies community. That's like, yeah, I the casual community, I guess. But I
Mhm.
feel like that has a negative connotation when you say that. I'm just like the
Mhm.
casual
Because
community.
casual is just so cringe. Like nobody wants to be casual. Like it's just weird.
Nah, but we want the casuals to watch the Slow Bros podcast. We can't be
Yeah, I
ripping
mean,
on
nah,
them.
casuals. I mean, they aren't. I don't think they're cringe, but I mean, like people. Sometimes they do some cringe things. Think Noah J's the best zombies player of all time. Some weird takes on zombies. So
Yes, I like thinking that DE is a good map.
okay, yeah, you're not gonna. A lot of people are gonna find that bad. I mean, I think he's a little overrated also, but man,
Uh,
that everybody loves that man.
yeah.
Yeah, you're good. Man, that was funny.
Okay, man. So you've been playing video games for a long time, but what games have you put the most time into?
Um, well, first when I first got my PC,
Mhm.
I put a lot of CS:GO. I probably have like 1,000 hours in CS:GO.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's actually why when I made the transition into zombies on PC, because the only game I played on my PC was really Rainbow Six Siege and then CS:GO,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd play stuff on my console also with my friends because I was like the only person that had a PC. So I'd play CS:GO on my PC a lot, and then eventually I wanted to play zombies on my PC, and this was before I even played competitive zombies. This was like December of last year actually,
Mm-hmm.
and I made the transition perfectly fine from CS:GO to zombies. I mean, I didn't have to learn keyboard and mouse or anything because I've noticed a lot of people's problems now are learning keyboard and mouse. I mean, a lot of competitive players don't even play keyboard and mouse, like
Mm-hmm.
Zomba, for example. Like, so yeah, I mean that, and then Black Ops 3, obviously now I
Mm-hmm.
probably have like a lot of it's idle hours, I'd say, but like I definitely have like 2,000 maybe to 3,000.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
solid. Yeah. For me, I really haven't put time into any games besides zombies because I wasn't allowed to play COD until like high school basically. And when I
yeah.
was younger, I was super busy playing sports. I also did karate, like I did swimming, baseball, soccer, and I had school. So I was busy with all that stuff and I would play video games. Like I would play Pokemon on my DS. I would play some stuff on my Wii and the Wii U, but I never had time to just go hard and play video games or anything like that. So,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
when I
I mean,
first started like putting in a lot of time into video games, I think it definitely was high school, which is kind of crazy because most people do it way earlier.
yeah, I definitely didn't. I mean, I usually just played like when I was younger. I'd play with my brother a lot.
Mhm.
Back then, like elementary school, I guess I started playing like so like my parents didn't care,
Mhm.
so I would play like GTA 5. I'd play Call of Duty. Yeah, so my parents were sick. But yeah, middle school, I didn't really play that much either. But then high school, yeah, I think Corona really made it. I mean, Corona definitely made me able to play a lot. I mean, that's yeah,
Yeah.
Corona. Shout out to Corona.
Yeah, COVID was, I mean, it's like it's awful. It's awful,
Yeah,
but the
I
silver
wouldn't be.
lining is
I wouldn't be here right now on the SlowBroz podcast if it weren't for COVID, bro.
I
That's
wouldn't have
just
made
fact.
the Slow Bros podcast if it wasn't
Yeah,
for COVID, probably. Like
yeah.
I went from like about 1,000 to almost 5K through
Followers.
COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, the zombies community was so dead on Twitch. So back when I started in 2018, I believe, that for if you were good, like if you were getting a good amount of views, you had 10 viewers was like solid, and you were probably at the top of the category with about 10 viewers, and 5 viewers was considered pretty solid as well. And now, like, people aren't happy unless they have like 50 plus viewers, like Easter egg speeders and stuff. Like there was a point where I wasn't happy unless I had 50 plus viewers. And then I lowered my standards a little bit. And once Cold War happened, because everything died after Cold War. And now
yeah.
I'm just chilling with any amount of viewers. I don't really care too much. I've kind of learned to get past that. But
Yeah, I mean, I stream. So what? I mean, I should care more about my streams.
mhm,
Like I would, if I like, or if I'm not feeling it, like I'll go live, and then like 30 minutes later, if I just like do 30 minutes restart and I can't get a game going, I'll just end my stream. And I mean, like that obviously definitely isn't good for my channel. But I mean, I still that's how I got big though. It was really just every time I played a game, I just go live. I mean,
mhm,
I went from I think June I got affiliate with like 60 followers, and now ever since Obey Undead, I really kind of exploded. I think before Obey Undead, I had like 300 followers,
mhm.
and now I have like 790, something like that. Yeah, I don't got a lot.
No, that's
Maybe not.
solid. That's solid. I mean,
Yeah, something like that.
especially with round speedrunning because it's not huge. It's not like Easter egg speedrunning or high rounds that everybody knows about. High
Yeah,
like round speedrunning is definitely its own little thing that is only popular in a small part of the community, but it's sick. I love round speedrunning. I think it's cool. And I'm glad that like you're getting it out there. And I think a lot of people know about it now. Like I know about it. I didn't watch much before. I only knew tacos of the round speedrunning community. And
Yeah.
now I know you, I know some of the records. I know Ganon sort of does some speedruns like with
Yeah,
like
he's mainly he's Cold War, but I mean
mhm.
he controls Cold War. There's really no other record that doesn't have on Cold War. So I mean, he is Cold War for round speedruns
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah, of anything in Cold War, I would say the most interesting and skill based is probably round speedrunning, like getting a 30 or a 50 on there. It's not as brain dead as sitting there for hours and hours and hours just shooting your ray gun or your ray K. You're only doing it for a certain amount of time, and like you need to be as optimal as possible, probably play risky. So it's cool for sure.
Yeah, 1000%. I mean, I think Cold War, especially when it came out. I don't know if the restarts are better now, but I remember when it came out. I remember asking Orbic like, "How many runs do you get a day?" And as a joke, he said zero point 0.3 runs a day because of how rare the ray gun was. He just never could have got out of the box. And I remember Zeta would go for the exfil also. I mean, the exfils were actually the first thing that was very optimized on
Mhm.
Cold War. I remember that's what I used to go for. And then after that really died out, I just went back to BO3 like I think everybody else did. And I think everybody went back to BO1 or whatever. So yeah,
Yeah, Cold War might have killed the community a little bit, but hopefully in that part of the community that it killed, it sent some people over to the older games. That's maybe
yeah,
one good thing about it, I hope.
yeah. There's definitely a lot of people. I know Freckleston. He has a Derives and Jack Easter egg on record. He
Mhm.
started. I'm pretty sure at least he started in Cold War with Easter egg speedruns on Cold War, and then he went to Exfils on Cold War, and then he came to BO3 after I think fire. I don't know when he came to BO3, but he came back to BO3. Ended up getting a bunch of Easter egg speedruns. The guy he has a lot of SOE records. Same thing with Scrappy. I don't know if you
Mhm.
know what Scrappy is. He's another Cold War player originally. He has the Exfil
Mhm.
solo. He has a lot of Easter eggs on Cold War also. Then he came back to BO3. He actually took all of Scotty's SOE records on Easter eggs. Scotty doesn't have any solos anymore. Oh no, he might have one. He might have Mega.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah,
Damn, dude, Acid was like the king of SOE. He
yeah,
had all of that shit. Somebody beats him, nah, he's gonna beat that shit again.
yeah.
That's
And then,
insane.
Bull.
Yeah,
Bull.
yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have any DE records anymore either.
Oh my god. Please tell
Yeah,
me Hole has his record still at
nah.
least.
Freckleston has Megas, and then Rich Official has No Gums and Classics. Do you know what Rich Official is? He's like a. I don't know if you know what that is.
Maybe.
You might have seen a recommend. Yeah, he has that. Kingman doesn't have any more GK records. Hole has all those now.
I mean, I would expect that because
Yeah,
Hole is just
insane. Yeah,
ridiculous at the game. So
100%. Oh
all
yeah,
we needed was for him to get a PC. Once he got a PC and he could do those fast restarts and everything, he was gonna get everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. Well, speaking of records, what records do you hold in zombies?
Uh, well, my only good high round record I'd say is 255 no power on Rev, but I mean it's Megas, so it doesn't really matter. But
Mm-hmm.
round speed on wise, I have the SW30 obviously for ZWC. I have Moon Nogum 30, Moon Classic 30, which are all same strat basically, getting wave one
Mm-hmm.
out of the box, or like Mark II, whatever. And then Kino 30 Nogums, which is actually pretty fast. I'm happy about that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kino 50 Nogums. I'm very happy about that game also. I mean, yeah, but those are like my really good records. I do have a lot of co-op records. I can't name off the top of my head, but like 2P Megas for Rook 30. I'm really happy
Mm-hmm.
about that. 2P Classics for Rook 30. Very happy about that game. That game's actually probably one of my most cracked 30s actually. So, yeah, I mean everything else. I think I have the Moon 100, 2P Megas
Mm-hmm.
100 on Moon.
So you've been all over the place on BO3.
Yeah,
It's not just like I know a lot of people specialize in one or two maps maybe. It seems like you've just kind of diversified and gone everywhere and just taken over.
yeah. Well, I mean, if when you learn round speed runs, most of the maps are like the same thing, really. It's
Mm-hmm.
just knowing the strat on the map. That's really all you have to do. I mean, Varuk, it's just getting the Mark II out of the box, and then you're chilling. You got to go to the two window on Varuk, and you're fine. And then Moon, it's the same exact thing, except and I mean, there's a little different stuff. Like there's maps like SOE, which we'll get into later, which
Mm-hmm.
is totally different, and it's almost like an Easter egg speed run. Like how many steps are into SOE 30. But
Yeah.
like and then most maps are the same, I'd say. It's just being good at round speed runs. knowing how to be fast, but then just also knowing the strats in each map. It's really simple.
Do you have a lot of competition within the round speedruns?
I wish there was more, but I mean, all my competition is really people I play with. I'd say. I mean, there's
Mm-hmm.
nobody like. I mean, I guess Delta New's a new nickname, but they don't even play BO3 anymore. Really, I know Delta a new nickname went to. I mean, his name's Ham Upside Down now. Actually, I know he went to World War II and he's getting all those records.
Mm.
I mean, I know all the BO4 players are staying at BO4. So I mean, I wish, I wish I had more competition, but nah, I don't think so. I don't think I have a lot.
Should I get into some round speedrun, ZombieDawg?
Bro, if you get into round speedruns, you're gonna play with me though. So that's the problem. You're not gonna be my competition. We're gonna be getting records together.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm down.
Oh come on, you gotta hop on the train, bro.
For
Stop.
sure. I think I might have to because eventually I'm gonna get tired of VO1 or need to take a break, and then I'm gonna look for something else to play because that always happens. And I mean, if round speedruns in BO3 are there or in any of the other games, I'm down to try it out for sure.
You gotta shed light on the round speedruns. We gotta get more acknowledgement. I mean, it's really just tacos. That's literally it.
Hmm.
That's like the
And
only round speedrunner.
the more competition is gonna just make it
Oh
way more interesting as well, and just gonna keep growing it exponentially. So yeah.
yeah.
Out of those round speedruns that you're talking about, what do you think is your most impressive record out of all of them?
Uh, I'm I'm not just saying this because ZWC, but definitely that's W30. I
Okay.
think that record, not because I'm going to ZWC, because just because of like those times might actually be like those are like one of my best times. That's like one of my best times ever, as in
Hmm.
like split wise. Like my 10 time, my 5 time, my 15 time. Those are like all PB and almost 2 PB. I had some crazy times, and my Parasite RNG definitely could have been better, I guess.
Hmm.
But my gum luck was perfect also. Not perfect, but it's definitely good. So I mean, that game maybe can be pushed by like 10 seconds max. I'd say maybe like 20. I don't
Hmm.
think sub 29 is possible, but I think that definitely is my most impressive game.
Yeah, I thought SOE would have been relatively simple, and then I talked to some people about it, and they told me that it involved a lot of different things and a lot of RNG, and I was just like,
So garbage. That map is so
yeah.
dumb.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was thinking about going to for ZWC and playing SOE 30 because I didn't think it was like that, and then I think it was Kooky actually who told me about it, and then I was like, never mind. I'm not gonna do that shit.
Yeah. I remember I think Scotty went for it. Everybody
Mhm.
that went for it console wise, I definitely told them like I released my strat as soon as I was because I know a lot of people like use alt accounts
Mhm.
to for their gameplay. I as soon as I got the record, I released my strat straight away. I uploaded the ZWC. Anybody that asked for help, I helped them. It's not like
Mhm.
I'm gonna deny people. I mean, I actually reached out to people just saying like ask them what their PB is. I know there's a lot of console players. And realistically, I knew console players weren't gonna get it. I know as much as they tried. And SOE, it's you can't play console, especially with it's a 5 window and you got to
Mhm.
shoot as fast as possible while turning. It's like you're not gonna get it. And then you got to hit gum at the same time. It's just I knew,
Mhm.
so I was like, let me be nice and just help them as much as possible. Yeah,
Yeah, I can imagine because I went and watched some of your SOE 30 a few days ago, and there's just a lot of spinning around, and like you have to hit those windows, and it's like an aim trainer kind of with the fucking apothecon. And I assume if you miss shots, you're just gonna keep losing time more and more, and it's just gonna delay more zombies spawning in. So you got to be perfect with that, especially like you're saying this game was really really good.
yeah.
So like, do you see anybody beating it anytime soon besides yourself?
I don't know. I'm never gonna play SOE again if I until I have to. Like if someone
Hmm.
beats that record, I'm not even gonna play it. Like that map is so bad with RNG wise. But I mean, yeah, I don't I mean there's no competition right now, so yeah, definitely not. I mean, unless Surreal goes back for it, which I don't see why he would,
Hmm.
because he's a high rounder. So I mean, yeah, I don't see anybody going for it. I think maybe Mauer. I don't know if you know
Hmm.
who Mauer is.
No, I don't.
Maybe he can go. He had the record before me. Uh, maybe he'll go for it. That's really it though.
Okay, okay. So that's the most like impressive record you got. What do you think is the most enjoyable round speed run to go for?
That's a good question. Enjoyable. I'd say Moon if you're going for a nice 30, because Moon, you don't need the wave gun out of the box. See, the thing about Moon is there's 33 guns in the box,
Mm-hmm.
and you can use 3 of those guns for a round speed run.
Mm-hmm.
So the Dracon,
Okay, that makes
people don't
sense.
know. Yeah, I gotta say that like people don't realize how good the Dracon is. Dracon is basically a wonder weapon up until like 38. It's a one shot up until like 33, and headshots are like one shot to like 40 something.
That's ridiculous.
It's an insane gun.
Is that
No,
with double tap and pack a
yeah,
punch?
I don't have pack a punch.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I think Moon, because you're hitting the box in between rounds. You can get a Mark II, a Dracon, a wave gun. There's all those guns you can get out of the box and then get a game going. It's not like a
Mhm.
map like Verrucht where you need the Mark II, and if you don't get the Mark II, you just restart. Or uh like a map, I don't know, like Rev. I know Rev, you need like the wave or the
Apothecon or
Apothecon and T gun. I'm pretty sure. I think you need both
yeah, I'd assume so.
for like that's just 30, but like 50 and a 70, you definitely need both. Yeah, I mean, I think Moon. I mean, that's the only map I know on top of my head. I don't know all maps for round speedruns. Like I don't know DE or like Origins.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, the maps that have the least amount of RNG and that you can get into the most games, I would assume would be the most fun to do because you're actually playing the game instead of sitting there restarting the whole time.
it's not even just an RNG factor. It's also maps that aren't complicated. So
Mhm.
like the Giant and SOE, for example. SOE, you have to go around the whole map and grab every single fuse,
Mhm.
and then the Giant, you have to obviously turn on all the teleporters.
Mhm.
And I mean that when it comes to round speedruns, it can get really confusing when it's like you're in the middle of a dog round and you're like, oh shoot, like I shouldn't be here. I should be turning on a teleporter. And it's like it's not. You'd rather start out on another map
Mhm.
than that. I mean, if we're talking about megas, also megas, I'd say probably like Varrock 30, because I
Okay.
know people like to do megas a lot too. So I'd say Varrock 30 or like Kino 30 for megas.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, so I'd
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, so I was thinking if I got into round speedruns, I wouldn't want to go for the complicated ones because it's just like when I think of round speedrunning, I think of just killing zombies, getting through the rounds as fast as possible. I don't want to have to do some intense setup to just get into a round speedrun. Like that's I'm gonna save that for high rounds. I'll save that for Easter egg speedruns. I just want to kill zombies. So yeah, a map like Verrucht or even Moon, like you said, seems pretty
Uh,
interesting. And also Megas as well. I'm not into Megas for high rounds, but for speedrunning, that definitely seems
well,
interesting.
I can't name a map off the top of my head. Or Varrock. I mean, most maps are just in the spawn room for megas, which is kind of garbage because
Mm-hmm.
then that means they're all optimized. I know Kino 30. It's you're basically nuking out half the rounds, and it's like it's kind of that's why I don't like megas, because megas is even like RNG. It's just knowing your nuke times, and like you miss one bad nuke and it's over basically. Start.
Oh, never
Doesn't even
mind then.
yeah, I would say not megas. Same thing with Moon. It's like you're spamming fatals. You can't nuke on Moon for round speed runs, but
Hmm.
you just spam gums. Try your hardest not to lose time, and I mean, yeah,
Okay, maybe classics then. Maybe
yeah, classics.
classics.
And then even megas actually, megas gets to the point where it's like so optimized that spawn RNG becomes a thing. I know for Rook 30, yeah, I've grinded the Rook 30 for so long, and like I've done the exact same thing he's done with better gums also. So like to 10, I'll have like 2 raindrops,
Hmm.
and he'll have like a fatal contraption and a killjoy. My time will be slower, and I've realized it's because he has better spawn RNG. So every time you hit the gum on Varrock, you're breaking spawns.
Okay.
And you have to make sure you get back in time before the round starts.
Hmm.
And usually, if you're grabbing a gum, it's literally impossible to get back in time. But there's RNG where either the zombie that spawns down by the staircase in power, when the zombie spawns, either he despawns straight away, or if he keeps walking towards the barrier, rips off a couple barriers, and then despawns, that's
Mm,
really slow, obviously,
mm.
because I'm limited to like 2 zombies because that zombie wants to not despawn. And I mean, RNG wise, I mean, you definitely for megas, you definitely need that. That 3 seconds literally costs you the record. So I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
megas is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I think 30s are. I'm not a huge fan of 30s because, I mean, they're probably very optimized and you only have so much time. But I feel like once you get into 50s, 70s, and 100s, mostly 70s and 100s, there's a lot more actual gameplay involved and a lot more skill, I would say, rather than RNG. Because obviously there's still some RNG there, plenty of RNG, but like you're actually playing out a longer game, so there's more opportunities for you to be faster or be slower. So if I got into round speed runs, I also think I would be like I would cater towards 70 or 100.
Yeah, no, definitely. Uh, well, I don't know if you know or not, but on ZWR 70 isn't a thing anymore. So yeah, I don't know if you hear about that. There's no more 70 SRs. I didn't like it either. So I would, but yeah, 100 stars I love for megas. So this is actually funny. Megas, I love 100 star megas. Those
Mm-hmm.
are just fun and chill. And I mean, like, because classics are really just popping AATs most of the time. I mean, I know Kino, you're using T gun as much as you can also,
Mm-hmm.
but most of it's really just popping turns and dead wire, really, yeah. But I mean, like, a lot of the maps, yeah, definitely just the 170s are fun still, too. 30s are nice and fast. That's why I like
Mm-hmm.
to play 30s. Same thing
Mm-hmm.
with 50s, you know?
Yeah, I can see it from both sides. I can understand wanting to have a quick speed run, but also wanting to have a longer one. So, I mean, I guess there's a lot to offer for whatever you want in around speed running. So that's good for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in the competitive community, there's like three different sections. You have the high rounds, which I would say is probably tied with most popular with E-strike speedruns, and then you have round speedruns. So
Hmm.
out of those, I know this is a difficult question. I don't even know if there's an answer. Do you think out of those three, there's like a most impressive? Do you think one of them is more skilled or
Well,
most impressive?
I think at the for round speed runs, if you have a round speed run, there's never gonna be a significant which one is the best because I know there's probably an Easter egg speedrunner out there. There's an Easter egg speedrun that's probably super beatable. Probably a high round on BO1 out there that's super beatable.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a round speedrun out there that's super beatable. And then same thing for very impressive and super optimized for each category. So like
Mm-hmm.
if I were to compare each game, like each one, I'd probably say like the most impressive. I'd say high rounds probably. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think round speedruns is the most impressive. I think if you have a fast time on a round speedrun, and like no one can beat it and it's super cracked or whatever. I think that's very good. But I mean, you can't really compare that to like 240 on Ascension.
Mm-hmm.
It really wouldn't work. Or like I know Kookie's Rev speedrun is pretty insane
Mm-hmm.
with the RNG he got. Okay, I mean I don't know how you're gonna compare like a round 30 to boss fight on Revs, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely a weird question.
Yeah, I have a lot of people ask that question. Like Easter egg speedrunners will say, "Oh, do you think Easter egg speedrunning is more impressive than high rounds?" And then high rounders will say the same thing, but like switched. And it's just not a fair comparison. They're just completely different things. And with high rounds, it's a long, long game, and there's a lot involved with it. And with Easter egg speedruns, they're generally more optimized because they're in such small periods of time. And it's just, you can't really compare a 30-minute game to a 70-hour game. Like, that's
Exactly. Yeah.
140 times longer.
The only thing I can say really is that the reason I would say high rounds is more impressive is because you get like I don't know how many instas Ferret missed. I think he missed like four or like three or something. I mean, if you miss like four instas and you have bad dogs and you're getting bad trades and you're like 40 hours into your game, I mean that's like a restart. But I mean, on a Easter egg speed run, you get a bad box 6 minutes into your game, that's a
Hmm.
restart. So I mean, like, there's a difference. That's why I'd say because I mean I don't know how long Zomba's been going for the record. He has it technically, but like he still obviously wants a 240 plus, and he can't
Mm.
get it, man.
It's really unfortunate the
Yeah,
RNG involved in high rounds. Just it's one thing with setup. It's another thing with getting drops in the early rounds. And then the fact that you have to rely on missed instas RNG. So yeah, like you're saying, on Ascension or instas are about 26-ish hours into the game. Reese, it's like more than 20 or like 20 to 30, somewhere around there, hours into the game. And then you have to rely on those from there, from that point, like Ascension, 26 hours, all the way until your 70-hour reset. And you're going to have to deal with that
yeah,
throughout that whole game in that period of time. And if you get bad RNG with those missed instas, most of the time you're not going to be able to get the record on an optimized map. And it's just not fair that you can do everything right. You can do everything right, even get perfect RNG and everything else, and still just not get the record.
yeah.
Well, in Easter egg speedruns and round speedruns, you get bad RNG. Okay, let me restart. Let me try this again. It's
I think high rounds will always, in my opinion, just be more impressive. It's just because of how long it takes.
mhm.
Really, that's the main thing for me because it's just like you get all that RNG to be fast in the beginning, and then it could just be over like that. Like one, I remember Furret had a crazy game to like on knocked. He had like 100 hit trade on knocked, and it was over basically. Like he just restarted. So I
Yeah,
mean,
it's just so optimized at this point because the best of the bests in BO1 are just that good. The BO1 players like Furret and Slayer, Fleur, Naraj, all of them, they're just so good at the game. And everything is so optimized that if you don't get perfect RNG or play perfectly, you just don't have a chance. And that makes it so it's just not as enjoyable to play high rounds. I don't know who I was talking to, but somebody was mentioning the casual privilege. The casuals, they have the privilege of just playing zombies to play zombies. They can have fun no matter what. They go in there, they die, they get bad RNG, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're enjoying themselves. They can just play the fucking game. And
yeah,
then there's the perfectionist BO1 players or any high round players,
that play
and
fast.
they can't enjoy themselves unless they get really good RNG. Like, look at Slayer. You do exclamation point Reese in his chat, and it shows how many quits he's had, how many deaths, how many times he's been fucked with bad RNG, bad drops, all that kind of stuff. And he's been playing for years, and it's so ridiculous. And I think the key is finding a middle ground. Like, I feel like I'm in that middle ground where I care about times, but I'm not going to quit out for times or quit out for bad RNG. I'll just be like, shit, that sucks. But I'm in that middle point. But the thing is, with that middle point, you're not going to be able to get world record with it if you're going for world record. So it just.
Yeah, I mean that's what if when I start doing high rounds, I feel like I'm gonna do that too. Like
Mhm.
I don't want to compete for a world record straight away. I gotta play it out. You know, like it's I'm not like BO3 high rounds. I'm talking about like BO1 and BO2. But you just gotta play out RNG and you gotta learn the map and everything. I mean, definitely playing out RNG. Even though if you get like a 200 hit trade or something like that, you gotta just play it out. Hope
Mhm.
for the best. Yeah, I mean that's why.
So how do you feel about patches? I know it's different with round speedruns and high rounds, but
Yeah.
first, just let's say round speedruns.
hmm
Since we were talking about RNG, how do you feel about people using a first box patch on
Uh,
round speedruns?
I think depends what map you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're playing a map with dog rounds, I'd say definitely like Kino, for example. It's annoying restarting for box and fire in the fire trap room,
Mm-hmm.
and then playing out 6 rounds in the spawn room, and then hitting box and then not getting T gun. It's like that's just like 7 minute restarts.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not trying to do that. And then like there's maps like Verrucht where you're just hitting the box as soon as you possibly can, which I understand on Verrucht if you say, well, you don't need a patch, whatever. But I think Kino, a patch would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And maps like Kino would be perfect. Like Moon, you got to restart for Jug, you got to restart for Box by MPD, then you got to restart for Wave Gun out of the box. It's like patches definitely would help that, but I think we'd have to split the leaderboards.
Okay.
If we don't split the leaderboards, then definitely no patches I think should be allowed. Because one, oh, there's still a lot of console players going for world records, and I mean, if you combine the leaderboards, console players are just going to be eliminated, and that's just the fact. And two, if splitting the leaderboards is perfect because the person that does all the restarts, does the 1,000 restarts or whatever to get that perfect game,
Mm-hmm.
is credited and praised for his record. And then also the person that uses a patch and gets an insane time is also praised for his patched record.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two records. And even if the person has both records, like if the non-patched record is better than the regular patched record, then that's good for them. Like I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they should be praised even more because they're beating patched players. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm definitely pro patch, but I think you need to split the leaderboards.
Okay. So, you prefer a split between patch and no patch rather than a console PC split, correct?
No, no, patch, yeah, definitely patch or no patch. Yeah, because
Okay.
if you PC and console, then PC, I still like PC. There's a lot of PC players that are not pro patch. I know for a fact Tacos does not want patches.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've talked to him about it. So I mean, like, and I mean, if you there's a lot of PC players that definitely want patches, and there's definitely a lot that don't want patches. And I mean, if you just split the leaderboards, just like how they did with Origins BO2, I think that's the perfect scenario. And obviously, the only problem is empty leaderboards. But I mean, it's gonna come with everything, right? Just gotta give it time.
Mm-hmm. I just think I don't know why people would be against patches if they're on PC. Like, let's say you split console and PC. Obviously, anybody on PC could use a patch, and anybody on console can't use a patch. So, if everybody's allowed to use a patch on PC, and everybody is able to reduce their restarts by using a patch, why would people still be against it? If it was even, and technically it would be more competitive because everybody would be getting more games. Do you know an argument against it?
Right. Say the question again. I'm sorry.
So, let's say you have the leaderboard split between console and PC. Okay, console you can't use a patch obviously because you're on console. PC, anybody on PC could use a patch, and if everybody can use a patch, it would be relatively even, and there would be more competition because people would get more games. So, why do people still not want patches to be allowed if it was split like that?
Uh, I mean, I think it's just because it's not a legit way to play. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a lot of most console players are just totally against it because
Mm-hmm.
it just doesn't affect them at all. Like console players are just gonna be on a different leaderboard. Basically, that's all it means.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I know most of them just think it's not legit at all, and it's not even because I think if they're on PC, they'd definitely say it's legit and they'd allow patches. But I think it's because they're on console, they'd be totally against it and say that they don't want it because they just obviously can't use it and they're not
Mm-hmm.
going to be able to compete. Like, I mean, imagine somebody restarting for all this RNG. It's like a 1 out of like 16 chance of happening,
Mm-hmm.
and then somebody just loads up a game, gets it first try. I mean, by the time that person's finished one run,
Mm-hmm.
they the other person's still restarting for box RNG. So I mean, I definitely understand why console players wouldn't want it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just because they can't use it. That's it. That's right.
Yeah. And I also somewhat understand the just people saying that it's the game you shouldn't modify the RNG. But then again, if it reduces restarts and people are even, I think it should be okay. As long as there's some sort of split, like you said, with the leaderboards. Obviously, patched games and unpatched games aren't going to be equal, and round speedruns in high rounds, I think a first box patch doesn't affect it that much. Some people have differing arguments, but I think that a first box patch on Shang most likely isn't going to affect your 70-ish hour game compared to just like hitting the box regularly, because you could just get baby gun and monkeys in your first two hits anyway on Shang. You
Yeah,
never know. And a couple box hits generally won't matter. There are cases where it does matter. I think Furret reset on 206 Shang like a couple minutes into the round, but with that argument, also there could have been RNG throughout the game. It could have been a couple box hits within one trade during the game that causes you to not get that 206.
yeah.
And it's not necessarily those first few hits. And if everybody was able to use that to just get games going, I would assume there would be more competition, because I mean, I would have never played Shang if there wasn't a patch. I wouldn't be as good at Kano as I am right now if I didn't get a patch. I wouldn't nearly be as good at Ascension because I use a first jug patch, and that makes it so pretty much every game I'll be able to get a setup because I don't have to worry about getting jug or anything like that. And I just think they're so beneficial to the community, but we just need to come to a resolution and decide, are we going to split leaderboards? Because patches should be a thing. Like no matter what, we just need to decide what we're going to do with the leaderboards, I think.
I mean, yeah, I mean, definitely. I think there's been multiple votes on it, but I think just people just don't care enough. Like they're just so like to themselves about what their opinion is.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody just truthfully thinks like I don't want patches, and then there's a vote goes out there saying patches or no patches, they're not even gonna vote. Like they just don't care what the outcome is. They're like, I don't want patches. I don't care what the outcome of the vote is. If there's patches, I'm gonna shit on everybody that uses the patches. I mean, it just people are so to themselves about it.
Yeah, I understand being anti-patch, but I don't understand being super condescending and rude about it because there's plenty of
Yeah,
people in the community that don't like patches, but they're not gonna give you shit for it. They're just gonna be like, well, I don't like this, but it's okay. Let him play how he wants to play. But then there's
yeah,
people in the community that like go out of their way to just like hate on it. People are just trying to have fun on the game. And if that's how they want to have fun on the game, let them be. I mean, they just want to play more. Like, that's why I use patches because I want to get in games. I'm a content creator. I don't want to be restarting all fucking day just to get a game and then die and have to do it all over again because I'm not an elite player. I'm a decent player. And the more games I get, the better because I'm probably going to fuck up in those games. So,
yeah. I mean, that's definitely how I want to play.
mhm.
I want to like if I when I start playing BO1 eventually, I want to play with a patch. Like, cause I'm gonna play Ascension probably first. I want to play with a patch and then probably do the drug patch. And then even if I get bad trade RNG, I'm just gonna play it out and just try and see what I get. I mean, like I don't care. I don't want to care for a world record straight away.
Mhm.
Maybe in the future something I would want is the Ascension world record, but I do know how optimized that is, so I don't know if I'd ever go for that. But yeah, for now, definitely just give me the patch. I'll run with it. See what happens.
Yeah, you gotta hop on Ascension, man. There's not that much competition at the moment. Right now, it's just
Yeah,
going for world record. It's just Zomba. I mean, Fire'em hasn't been playing recently, and it
I know
was
Vex. Vex goes for it too a lot.
who?
And Vex, do you know who Vex is? Vexicat?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Vex goes for it, but he also doesn't have a super high PB, so I wouldn't say
Yeah.
he's like significantly faster than me. But we
Yeah.
both don't have a super high PB, so I wouldn't say we're world record contenders. But we are playing the map. But at the
There's only,
world record level, there's right now it's literally only Zomba, and it's crazy.
yeah. I mean, Firearm's getting back to the swing of things, and I mean,
Hmm.
I hope he just never gets the game out. I know that for a fact. Like, I mean, he always gets destroyed by RNG. So, I mean, I definitely think eventually he'll be there. I mean, I hope he is. But yeah, definitely there's just Zamba right now, honestly. The only
Hmm.
person I've ever seen 100 plus in the past, like, months. Past, like, 5 months.
What about me? I mean I'm 100 plus, but I'm not like world
Yeah.
record pace 100 plus or anything.
I have seen you. I forgot about you. I forgot
Yeah.
about you.
In the last few months, I had a 120 PB for the longest time, but after I got my 120 PB about a year ago, and then just this year, I've gotten like I got a 121, I got a 139, a 140, of like 117, 115, 107, 102, all these things. Like I've actually been playing out a lot of games, and I think I've been getting better at the map. And
Definitely. I mean, I know if you're playing that much and getting that many, I didn't even realize how much you played actually. That's actually, you're definitely getting better. And I
mhm.
don't even have to watch. You probably are getting better. What was I gonna say? I did see her down during the Scott and JC thing.
Oh my god. That was so bad, dude. I just wasn't paying attention at all, just listening to the conversation, looking at chat. And the zombies are there, okay? They're all in one clump. And I just run into the box and get
Yeah,
surrounded. Like
yeah. But
how are you that stupid, bro? Come on.
the thing about Ascension is it's like, I know the same thing for like Nuketown is like, it's a false like hitbox, like for the box. It'll
Mhm.
look smaller than it actually is. I know on Nuketown before the perks drop, there's
Mhm.
still the perk like machine is there, but it's invisible. So if you try
Oh.
walking into it, it's like it's a solid, but it's like an invisible barrier basically.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I know it's like the same thing for Beer One, how there's some like boxes where you try cutting corners, but you just don't move. Like,
Mhm. Yeah,
and
it's oh God, that each time I down, I tell myself like this can't get worse. Like I had a down in Pack-a-Punch room where I just made a stupid decision and I tried to play fast on somewhere where it definitely wasn't necessary and I downed. And then there was the one on the PhD lander where there was one zombie in front of me on the stairs and I was jumping down. I got stuck on that one zombie and then I got surrounded and I died. And then there was the one on the PhD lander again where I was stuck on the lander and I didn't press F, and the lantern could have just taken me away from there and I would have survived. But no, I shot my crossbow. I was surrounded by zombies, kept shooting my crossbow, and I
yeah,
didn't fucking use the lander. And I was like, no way, no way my down could get worse than that. And then I'm trying to run out of mule, and I just run into the wall and get stuck and down. And then I'm at the
my
pat
camera frozen.
box.
Oh no, we're good.
What'd you say?
My camera was frozen for like. Now you're good. Keep.
And then I was at the pat box and I just got stuck on the pat box and died. And
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep having worse and worse downs, man. It's so bad.
I bet you. I know Fyron was playing Ascension for like 3 years. I remember I was in a call with him, and he was just showing us all of his clips from of the years, and it's like watching him play. He was like such a casual Ascension player, like almost
Mhm.
like you now, making all these mistakes,
Mhm.
like spawn to like 60, then going to pack,
Mhm.
doing all this stuff back when he was first playing the map, and it just like it shows you like everybody starts somewhere, and then eventually they'll get to that elite level of playing power, trading
Mhm.
out, getting fast times. So I mean, Firearm's definitely the fastest player, right? Definitely Ascension. I mean, he
Yeah,
has all that and 200. He doesn't have the 200, but he has the 100. I know that for a fact.
yeah, he's really fast and really solid at the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that he gets into another 100 plus, 200 plus game soon.
Yeah,
Gotta
definitely.
beat that 200 PV, man. Got the first 200 and then died. Come on, fire him. But
Yeah, it's just sad.
yeah, but I like Ascension. I like the map, and I hope more people start playing it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a gauntlet, perfect for Ascension.
Hmm.
Like, I know there was one back in the day, but I mean, I think one now would be so good, especially getting people to play it more.
Yeah, I would. In addition to the tournaments that I've been planning, I also want to do some gauntlets. Ascension isn't my first choice, but I definitely would want to do it because I love Ascension. But um, I think Shino Numa needs a gauntlet,
Yeah,
obviously.
actually, this I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that record needs to get beat like now.
Yeah, that's the first priority. But after Shino Numa, anything can go. I mean, I think Shang would be interesting. For Semtex, Shang Semtex Gauntlet, like you have to run Semtex. Because I doubt anybody will beat Furret's game in M16. I don't think anybody has a chance. But with Semtex, yes.
Yeah, I mean, Semtex is so hard. I mean, unless Krups is a bad player, I mean, obviously he's not. So I mean, always I haven't seen him go past like 80 on Semtex yet, and it's so like sad because I'm like, he looks so good. He looks like he's about to get in a good
Hmm.
game. One
No,
bad move.
it's a difficult strat, and also, I mean, the trades on that map are a little bit scuffed too. Like some of the locations are pretty scuffed and super tight. So, I mean, even if you get to the spot where you have to trade, it's going to
Yeah.
be tough and you're running Semtex the whole game. It's not like M16. The horde up at M16 is very easy, I would say. It's a very consistent and relatively easy horde up, and that's not a super difficult strat. I would say out of there the hardest part is probably instas and trading, but with Semtex it's the opposite. Semtex instas look super easy, like you just
Yeah.
throw Semtex on the ground, and the horde up is probably the most scuffed part, because if you get a fail on your
Hmm.
baby gun, you can get fucked super easily. But
Yeah.
an M16, if you fail your baby gun, you have like behind you you have all that space because you're in that Semtex room when you shoot your baby gun generally. So
Yeah, I mean, I never really knew much about Shangri-La. Some of the
mhm.
maps I just didn't know enough about, so I can't say a lot. But yeah, I definitely know how hard that map is to get
Yeah,
optimized.
you better come to BO1 soon, ZombieDawg. I want to see it.
First, you have to come to BO3 round speed runs, and then after I'll go to BO1.
All right, we got a deal. We got a deal.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll make it
Yeah.
happen.
I think that'll bring us into our next topic. Next
Okay.
topic's gonna be ZWC. So ZWC, Zombies World Championship. It is something that's been going on for, I think this is the third year. There was a
Yeah,
ZWC 1, ZWC 2, but there was nothing last year, I believe.
I don't think there was nothing for the last 2 years actually. I don't think that the last one they did was before BO4. So
Okay.
there wasn't one 2019 and there wasn't one last year.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. So, yeah, ZWC, we've talked about it before on the podcast, but for anybody that's new, anybody that doesn't know what it is, Zombies World Championship, like I said, it's a tournament put on by MC Sportshawk, who's a YouTube zombies slash other content creator. And yeah, he organizes it, and there's a few other people that do as well. And basically, this year, there's an online qualifier and there's 8 categories within that qualifier. The top person in each category will move on to the finals, playing against the other people that qualified, as well as some content creators. For example, I believe Greg FPS is going to be one of the people, and
Well,
ZWI. Hmm.
wait, ZWI is his own competition.
Really?
Yeah, so I'll talk about that. The first day, this is what Kooky told me, and I'm pretty sure Kooky got this from Infest.
Mm-hmm.
The first day, the ZWI, and they've been announcing ZWI members like on their Twitter. I think there's gonna be, I don't know how many in total. It's gonna be like 16 to 14, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Those people are gonna have their own set of challenges the first day because it's a whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called the ZWI. You're gonna have this set of challenges, and then those 8 people that win, I'm pretty sure
Oh.
CWC. So the competitive players had their own challenges they had to do. Now the content creators are gonna have to do their own challenges. So it's not like Mr. T Lex Fire, like whatever, Red Austin, are automatically in ZWC. They have to prove themselves first, and then they get to ZWC, and then we compete. Whatever, yeah. So
Okay, I am stupid because this whole time I thought that they were gonna have the ZWI people compete directly against all the
yeah,
qualifiers, but that makes sense to have the ZWI go against
because
themselves and then
yeah,
move on.
I mean that's why I was very confused about it too because they didn't really explain it well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So I mean, it's actually really cool because the first day we just get to watch a bunch of YouTube zombies, and then the second day I think is ZWC. And the third day maybe we chill. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I'm so excited.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that hinted at it, but my man Zombie Dog won his challenge. What challenge did you go for?
The SOE 30 we were talking about before. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
classic gobblegums.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, just tell us a story of like how you got into it, how you got it, your competition, all that kind of stuff.
So I've watched the ZWC since like ZWC 1, ZWC 2. I watched ZWC 2 live, like on my phone, obviously not. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I mean, I was a big fan, and then now that I'm a competitive player, I was like, I actually have a shot at this. Like, I mean, I was hoping for good maps on BO3,
Mm-hmm.
and those 3 maps, I'd say the 2 maps or the 3 maps I don't know nothing about on BO3, Bizetsubo no Shima, Shangri-La, and Garad Krovi.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 of the 3 maps were Garad Krovi and Shangri-La. So I was like hoping the 30 was on SOE, and it was. But I didn't know how much RNG the SOE. As soon as they announced it, the first thing I did was play it. I mean, 3 weeks before, or maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before ZWC started, I was learning the strat in SOE. I didn't like start the day of CWC started. I
Mm-hmm.
was grinding it as soon as I possibly could. Tacos helped me a lot with it. He helped me with the strat, which is actually the reason I think I got the record. My 1 to 5 strat was 14 seconds ahead of Mowers, who had the world
Mm-hmm.
record at the time. And obviously, 14 seconds ahead at 5 is insane for any round speed run. Like, you shouldn't be making that much time. So, I ended up getting that. I mean, SOE, you just play that, and then the thing about SOE that makes it so unique is you have to go around the whole entire map, play fast, and grab every single fuse location.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get Xenomatter and Tentacle, which is crazy by 15. You have to make sure you get that both on 15. And sometimes I'd played out games and try and get on 21, and I can't even get on 21. So that just shows you like how much RNG really is on the map. Uh, you go, I mean, you go from there to getting good guns out of the box. I mean, you can't play with like an Elcar and a Locust. You have to have at least like a Dracon, a Dredge, a Haymaker. If you don't get a good gun out of the box, it's you definitely a restart. I mean, a Haymaker is definitely like one of the best guns to get, especially for the
Mm-hmm.
Margos. Perk locations, another RNG factor.
Jeez.
Yeah, Jug. I actually had horrible perk locations. I had Jug first, which is the worst thing you can get.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still get fast games, but I mean, my 15 time probably would have been better if I had double tap because I had Jug and Speed Cola. So I mean, going from there, then as soon as you get all the RNG you need, the worst part is you have to have an Alchem every single round. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
be cycling gums, risk hitting, which is basically if you're 1 out of 5, like if you have a fresh new cycle, you're supposed to risk hit and try to make it a 1 out of 4 chance. And if you get your Alchem on that 1 out of 5 chance, run's basically over. Because you missed out on an Alchem.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you gotta have parasite rounds. There's a chance you miss out on a parasite round, and if you miss out on a parasite round, that's definitely not record.
Mm-hmm.
I had 20, 29, so that's pretty because parasites are very weird on SOE. 5 to 9, so I mean,
Okay. So you had
yeah,
to guarantee once you had 20, you knew that you were
yeah.
gonna get one. Okay, that's good.
The thing that's
And
unique about that. Let me say this. You want, you obviously want 2 parasite rounds in the 20s,
mm-hmm.
but you want a 5 rounder. So obviously having 29 was cool, but you have to hit the Gobblegum every single round. So if you get like a 23, 28, on
Mm-hmm.
round 23, I can hit the Gobblegum as much as I want, get all 3 of my hits out, get my whatever. If I have 3 useless hits that I don't need, then I'm going to hit all those gums in, and now I'm on a fresh new cycle. And then on 28, it's the round before 29, I'm going to try my hardest to get that Alchem, and then for 29, I'm going to spam hit. So you actually do not, like, you want a 5 rounder more than a 29. Because I know the best thing, obviously, is getting 29 parasites.
Mm-hmm.
But parasites really only save you like 10 seconds in a round on
Okay.
SOE. Yeah.
So is it more for like the max ammo, or is it just that 10 seconds really
It,
matters?
no, for parasites, it's the best thing about parasites. I mean, the max ammo definitely is awesome, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But the best thing is really just hitting gum and getting that cycle because Alchem is what you're riding on. That's the only thing that keeps you going, basically. There
Mm-hmm.
was actually in my game, I think it was like round 25. I was 1 out of 5 in my cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I hit before the round, didn't get Alchem. Hit second, I had to shoot a shot at the ground. Definitely lost me like 5 seconds, I'd say, actually. I had to
Mm-hmm.
shoot a shot at the ground, hit again, I didn't get it. And then 1 out of 3 chance, I ended up getting Alchem my third hit. If I didn't get Alchem there, that would have been game over, basically. But yeah, I ended up getting my Alchem right there and ended up finishing the run. And after that, I just got crazy RNG. Just chilling.
Yeah, that just sounds like
Yeah.
so much RNG, and obviously this RNG is so rare that you need to capitalize on it. You're probably not going to get many games with that kind of RNG, and if you fuck up, you're probably not going to get one for a long time. That's just, yeah, that's crazy. So what do you think is the difference between like a 30-minute run and a 29-minute run? Because a minute in a 30 SR is a big deal. What is
Uh, I think it's really just losing time. Really, I mean, a parasite round definitely. If you only have one parasite round in the 20s,
mm-hmm,
that probably will cost you. And it's not even because you're missing out on that nice like short round.
mm-hmm,
It's really because of not being able to hit the gum as much. Because like if you don't have an Alchem and you have to like shoot out the round,
mm-hmm,
that literally loses you like a minute or like 30 seconds maybe. Like it
yeah,
loses you a lot of time.
mm-hmm,
And I mean, if you like don't kill a Margwa on accident with the Silver Protector, that's really bad. Uh, I mean, like, also obviously building tentacles late. I mean, you can play out games where you build tentacle late, but I mean, it's gonna be very hard to beat record with that. But it's definitely possible. You get enough drop RNG, you definitely can beat it. But I mean, like, yeah, a game like that, like, you can't miss out on a parasite round or outcomes. I'd say that's what separates it.
Huh. Okay, okay. So yeah, parasite rounds and gum cycle are super important in the SV30. And then there's all this other little RNG that
Yeah,
happens earlier on, but
exactly.
yeah, seems very like an interesting speedrun to watch, but definitely not something that I would like to play, to be
I
honest.
took me so long to learn it. Like, it really did. Like, I usually learn 30s pretty fast. Like,
Hmm.
that 30 literally has a whole route, like, across the whole entire map. You literally just go across the map, and you gotta play fast in every single area. You play fast in canals,
Hmm.
waterfront, footlight. I mean, knowing where to shoot your apothecon when you build it. You gotta shoot the respawners. It's pretty garbage.
That's funny because when I used to play the SOE Easter egg speedrun, it was the Easter egg that had pretty much no RNG there. For megas, there was just your gum cycle was your only bit of RNG. For no gums in classics, there was literally no RNG, and it was so fun. I love that Easter egg so much, and I would still play it to this day. Very skillful, very fast, and hmm?
Not to say anything, but there's actually a new strat that Scrappy came up with,
Mm,
and it's actually like one of the most RNG Easter eggs now. So you can't
yeah.
play us with.
I heard about that, but if I play SOE again, I'm probably going to play the strat that was like before Steve's thing. Like before Steve did that weird ass jump on the wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
cuz you can still get an easy like 26 or so, 26 or 27 with the old strat. What is the record now?
I
Do
think
you
it's
know?
like sub 21, maybe. I
Jesus
think
Christ, dude.
I can search it up, but I don't want to right now. But yeah, I think maybe 2150. But with patch is insane. It's like something. It's like sub 20. I know that for a fact.
I if there's a patch on BO3 Easter eggs, I'll probably try it. But
Scrappy came up with a patch for like almost every Easter egg. There's a patch for DE now. There's a patch for SO. I
mhm.
think they're trying ZNS. I think GK. There's a patch. Yeah, I mean they're definitely yeah.
Well, I might have to play some BO3 eggs again because I mean the RNG was a big thing on why I stopped probably. So I really liked playing them. I enjoyed SOE and GK the most, and towards the end I started liking DE, but I wasn't at the level where like RNG mattered, but I wasn't at the level where RNG could kill a run for me. It would just slow it down a little bit. So it wasn't awful, but as
Nah,
I was getting better, I would assume that it would start to kick me in the ass. So
that's awesome. Like, especially like the Discord I invited you to. Like, everybody in that Discord will help you out. There's a patch chat for everything. I mean,
hmm.
if you want to get back in the Easter egg speedruns, definitely. I mean, it's the Easter eggs are actually like pretty popular now too. Again, so mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna run 2P Origins BO2 Easter egg soon,
Oh
because me and Nick have played a good amount of it, but without a patch.
yeah,
And just the worst part of the game was restarting for Gen 2 Thor. So, for you guys that don't know, on Origins, you're going to need to get the win part from Spawn Robot the first time the robots come through. So, you have a 1/4 chance, so a 25% chance of getting it in the foot you want. And I swear it happens most of the time more than 4 tries to get it, and it's really awful. So yeah, with a patch, like I don't even care about the other stuff. All I want is Gen 2 Thor. If I can get that, we can play out runs. I don't care about the rest of the stuff. So
I have no idea about Easter eggs. Like, I maybe DE because that's the map I've watched and talked to people about the most.
mhm.
But like when it comes to Origins and like GK, I have no idea what I'm watching at all. Yeah.
It's fun, man. It's fun. I like Origins. It's good on BO2 and BO3. BO3 was fine with bad RNG because you can still like you can still play the map and adapt to not great RNG, but BO2 was a lot of yes no RNG is what I call it. Where you either get it or you don't. Like if you get it, great, the run can continue. If you don't, your run's dead. Like towards the end of the Easter egg, like 30 to 40 minutes into the egg, like it depends how good you are. You have the rain fire step where after you upgraded all the staffs and then you do the fire staff glitch, you need to get into the middle robot, press the button, and then throw the G strike. Do you know that step?
Yeah. That way you
Yeah.
like go by into the
So if you don't get middle robot there, your run's dead. Like you can't get world record. So basically 30 to 40 minutes into the run, depending on how good you are, your run can die right there. And you only have a 33% chance to get it as well. So it's it's nothing compared to like 30 hours into a BO1 high round where your missed instas
Yeah.
matter, but still with an Easter egg speedrun, being that late into a game and having to restart, it's awful. It's awful. That's what kind of like turned me away from BO2 Origins. But
I never did Easter egg speedruns.
mm-hmm.
I don't plan on it. I'm probably gonna have to as ZWC, obviously. But yeah, they are gonna send us the challenges. They did say they're gonna send us the challenges 3 weeks before the event,
Mm-hmm.
so probably like beginning of June. They'll send us the challenges. We'll probably be doing one of the Easter eggs because it is gonna be across the 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably be grinding out whatever the Easter egg is and trying to learn that strat. I feel like everything else will be fine with. I'll adapt to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I never listened to Easter eggs, and I don't plan on getting it soon.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I get it. I understand why people don't like Easter eggs. It's definitely a
Yeah.
different experience. But
Yeah.
when they come out with those challenges, you got to hit your boy up with the challenges because
Trust me, everybody's gonna know. If you're gonna see me streaming ZNS Easter egg speedruns, you're gonna understand why. I'll
yeah.
never play ZNS other
Yeah,
than
I gotta make a SlowBroz episode when the challenges come out and just talk about all the
yeah.
challenges, the contestants, who's gonna be the best at each one, predictions, who's gonna win, all that kind of stuff. Should be
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
I mean, I'm liking it. I'm excited.
Mhm.
Future, super excited for ZWC.
So, do you like the way ZWC decided to do their tournament? Like the style with the qualifiers and how they're doing the finals, all that kind of stuff?
So I mean, the qualifiers. You gotta realize something. ZWC is ran by MC Sports Talk
Mm-hmm.
and has a sponsor, but I mean, the amount of money they're getting is probably isn't a lot, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the amount of money they have to spend, like they're gonna fly 8 people out, or no, actually, it's not 8 people. I mean, they were preparing for 8 people, but they're only flying out 4 people, I think. Yeah,
Why?
because you have to live in America. You can't live overseas, or even Gannon Snipes lives in Canada. He can't get flown out.
So,
They
what?
don't have to fly there. They play online.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
they'll play online. Me,
is
Kooky Cole, and Raids will be there. That's it.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I mean, they have to pay for a plane ticket, and obviously, I'm bringing two. I'm bringing my brother, so like
Mm-hmm.
that's 2 plane tickets, and then also have to pay for the hotel. So it's obviously a lot of money, and then they also have to hold the arena. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, imagine if they did like 16 people one, that's like a lot of stuff they have to spend for on money. And I mean, it's not like MC Sports Hawk has like is like a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know who his sponsors are, but I don't think he's not getting that much money. So I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it was more. I do wish it was more. I wish it was also across multiple games and not just those 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand why it was limited because of obviously, and plus COVID.
Yeah,
It,
of
it's hard to
course.
buy out as much people. Yeah, I mean, I understand.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if I think about it like that, that makes sense. I honestly think that an online tournament would have so much more potential for participants and competition, but the actual in-person experience, I would have loved to be able to go
Yeah,
and like I know I can, like they allow people to go and spectate, but with COVID going on, and also I have work at, like I'm going to be working at a pool this summer, and just my parents, I'm an adult, I'm 18, but my parents probably wouldn't even fucking let me go, and it's probably expensive as shit to get a Vegas hotel, also have to pay for a plane ticket there and back. So
Exactly.
maybe next year, when COVID's, I don't even know if it's gonna be gone by then, but maybe when everybody's vaccinated, because I'll be
Yeah.
vaccinated soon.
I
But
mean, I hope, man, it gets more public. It'd be
mhm,
awesome, especially if another ZWC next year. It'd be awesome to have more people. Especially like I hope this one gets a lot of light. Like I
mhm,
really do, because like if there's more people that are watching this and then realize, wow, there's like a whole nother community that's not like Noah J and Mr. Lex
mhm,
Fi, and they start watching everybody. I mean, I feel like all these players really deserve more, like Zamba and like Fire Rim, Kooky, all the like they really deserve more viewers for the skill level they're on. It really,
mhm. Yeah, that's one thing I was just disappointed in, because a lot of really good players just didn't have the chance to participate because it wasn't games they play. Like this only catered to BO3, Cold War, and BO4 players. And a lot of the best players in the community, probably the best zombies players ever, are BO1 players. And they're not going to participate in something most likely that's not BO1. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that like people won't be able to see that part of the community, but I hope, which what we're going to talk about later, I'm going to be doing a competitive zombies tournament type of thing with Fire M. I hope that that will help maybe get it more mainstream.
yeah. I mean, it's also a content thing because you got to realize this whole ZWC thing is based off of content. It's
Mm-hmm.
based off of what do you guys want to watch? Like, people aren't going to want to watch BO1 Ascension High Rounds, right? Obviously, I understand it's like they're trying to find the best zombies players, but there's still a level of content. And obviously, if they did a BO1 Ascension High Round, I feel like MC Sports Hawk knows only a few amount of players would ever be able to get that.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I know they're trying to have an argument about, like, should, like, fast restarts be, like not allowed because obviously there's a huge difference between PC and console. And they didn't allow map restarts. That's how bad it got. They were like, people were like, how are you gonna? Because at first, fast restart weren't allowed.
I saw that. That's so like that's so bad, dude.
Bad, but then obviously everybody in the Discord was just absolutely flaming everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We're just like, yeah, I mean, how are fast restarts not gonna be allowed? So they do map restarts isn't allowed, but fast restarts allowed, which I don't understand that. Nobody understands it, but I think it was just like a middle ground, and everybody's like, okay. I mean, I think I know there's a console player who did SOE30. He was really pissed that they allowed fast restarts because obviously if you're a console player, you're gonna be at a disadvantage no matter what because you're not allowed to play local.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you can't play local on console, that means no fast restarts. Because on console, yeah. So I mean, obviously I probably would be mad too. But I mean, I don't think a console player would be even getting the record either way. So I
No.
honestly I think that wouldn't even have mattered. But there's just a lot of whack rules. I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing at the competitive level,
Yeah.
most likely you're not on console. There's some exceptions, like BO3 high rounds. A lot
Yeah.
of them are on console because PC does some weird shit. I don't know with Fit Girl, like the BO3 version that's more stable on PC. I don't know if there's the same issues with crashing or like all those stutters and stuff, but yeah, it seems like BO3 high rounds is the one game where people are actually on console.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's also not even because of that. It's because if you had to play fast to get world record, I feel like it'd still be a PC dominant game.
Mm.
I feel
Mm-hmm.
like 1,000%. It's just because BO3 all the maps are 255.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing else to it. But yeah, I think if like Origins' reset was like 92 hours, because I know KXG's game was like 91 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I mean, if it was like if the reset was lowered like 100 something to like 80 something maybe, I think it'd definitely be way more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if every map is 2.5, 2.55, I mean, obviously
Yeah.
it'll be dominated.
Yeah, you just don't have to play fast on that game at all on pretty much all the maps. You'll just get the 255
Yeah,
for, it's just about survival. But
Hmm.
I don't think that's a necessarily an awful thing, but it is more. Oh, do think though that they should rank the 255s by time.
I don't think it matters. Nah, I think it'd be cool. I wouldn't be like against it, obviously, but like, I don't think it doesn't have to be. I mean, when somebody's looking at the records, they're not looking at for how fast it is. They're just looking at the highest rounders.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if we did that where it's ranked by the fastest time, then so be it. But I mean, I think that's what the 255 speedrun is for. See what the fastest times are. Because one, most of these games aren't timed because they are on console.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, how are you gonna know what the fastest one is if you don't have the timer, obviously? So I think
Correct.
that's why. I mean, 255 speedrun. I know there's people submit to that. I think so, at least for like ZNS and like Kino. I think there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of. So I mean, obviously they're not packed, but
Mm-hmm.
definitely like three at least.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is a good thing that I don't know. I kind of see it both ways with 255s. Just not being a time-based thing, it means that way more people can get the world record.
Yeah.
But also it means that you don't have to like hate yourself and hate your life for being a little bit too slow. While in BO1, you're slow, you're not getting the WR. Or like you get bad RNG, you're not getting the world record. But in BO3, you get bad RNG, you're just gonna have a slower time. But you can still get a 255, which is cool. I think that's good.
I mean, even most maps on BO3, there's not even a lot of RNG when it comes to high rounds. It's really just dogs. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess to 100, you can play fast and get first box,
Mm-hmm.
AAT. Because I know there's AAT RNG on Kino, which is very aids. Because I know I was going for that a long time. So there's definitely a lot of RNG going up to the 100. But past 100, there's really nothing else except for just playing dogs, not downing, obviously, and
Mm-hmm.
all that.
Yeah, my Ascension game, I'm pretty sure I lost a solid 2 to 3 hours just based on dogs. I mean
Yeah.
monkeys. It, it was really, really bad. I don't know. I don't think you knew me when I got my Ascension 255, but I think
Nah,
I had,
I did watch it.
yeah, I had around like 31 or 32 5 rounders and then like 24 rounders. So that means that I definitely lost a couple monkey rounds to 255, and a couple monkey rounds is a couple hours.
Yeah,
So
definitely. I mean, that's. I mean, how rounds are like an hour long, right? So
when I finished, like 254 was like 54 or 55 minutes. So yeah, I probably lost one round, like a couple rounds. Like if you add the total monkey rounds that I got, it's definitely probably like 3 or 4 less than someone in a average game. But they were bad throughout the whole game. It's not like they were bad and then good and then bad. No, it was just consistently bad. And I had huge streaks of 5 rounders, and it was, I mean, that's all it is. Like that's the only thing that can help your time in No Gums Ascension. Like like AAT spam is super easy to do consistently and fast. All you're doing is waiting on monkey rounds. The more monkey rounds you have, the faster you're gonna be. But,
yeah, I mean, and another high round that people don't really talk about is no AATs. I don't know if you've ever seen no AAT high rounds, but that really is like a BO1 version of BO3
mm-hmm.
because Ascension, it's because it really shows you how hard BO3 is without all the gobblegums and the AAT. Uh, most of the boxes on Ascension, because I actually tried this once with Classic.
Mm-hmm.
You can't trade out most of the boxes because of all of the like how big the zombies group up together.
Mm-hmm.
For power, I'm pretty sure it's like a minute and 10 seconds per hit, something like that. Because if you run away too far from the zombies, they despawn.
Yeah.
You have to keep them. Yeah, so obviously you have to stay next to them, and also the zombies are so wide. Like on BO1 and BO2, they get right next and close to each other. You can run around them. On BO3, they like are just all over the place, falling
Mm-hmm.
over. So on power, you're just like you have to open the power door. Obviously, you just go whatever you hit box at power, go down through mule kick, grab your horde, and then just run it step by step up the stairs all the way to power, and hit the box. Do the same thing over again.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Doesn't sound fun. I know for a fact though, you can trade fast at PAP. Because at PAP Box, I when I was
Yeah,
doing setups on Ascension, I was hitting the box like you do on BO1, just running in a circle and just hitting it and picking it up in that little small little loop. But yeah, I know what you mean. The zombies in BO3, they do some weird ass stuff sometimes, and they also kind of get stuck as well. Like on
yeah,
Kino BO3 when I'm playing No Gums, sometimes I'm trying to leave and they get stuck on the fence somehow, and you can't see them sometimes when you're trying to leave that area, and they got stuck on that fence in the alleyway, and they clump up weird, and it's just, and they hit you once, they get you stuck,
oh
boom,
yeah.
down, you're
BO3,
down.
yeah, that's what I realized. BO3, you get insta down, and that's when I was watching like BO1. I'd be like, wow, like they run into the zombies, and the zombies are just staring at them.
Hmm.
And BO3, like I have a clip of it. It was insane. Like I got triple hit by a zombie in less than a second. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, and you have no crossbow as well, because in BO1 you get fucked. Okay, you have crossbow and PhD if you shoot the crossbow right at yourself. But
Hmm.
yeah, BO3 no AT sounds hard. I
It's
don't know
definitely
how enjoyable that would be at that point. Just play BO1 Ascension. But yeah, like
uh,
you can't even control your cycle too because your T gun's gonna be making drops. So
exactly. I mean, yeah, 1,000%. I mean, you can use traps too. But
mhm.
trap strat is so slow. It's like unbelievable. So
Is
I
it
mean,
slower than BO? I think the spawns in BO3 are actually slower than BO1, but um,
maybe I'm
it's it's like high 20s or maybe 30-ish SPH running the traps on BO1.
the thing is, they spawn. It's very weird because it's very hard to hoard up on BO3. So like you have to play way more careful on BO3 than BO1. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you and it's training and stam. Like also, I don't know about the. I've realized this. How many hits does the BO1 trap do? Is it one or is it
Like,
three?
how much damage does it do to you?
Yeah, because on BO3, like you get hit once after you run through the or twice after you run through the trap, you die.
So
I remember
fire
watching.
trap on Kino, like on BO1, is bad. Like you get hit twice. Like if you get hit like twice by the fire trap, or with jug, if with no jug, if you get hit once you're down. With jug you get hit like 3 times, you're down. I assume it's the same with the fire trap on Ascension, but
Yeah,
I think if you get hit 2 to 3 times after getting hit by the trap once, you down, but I'm not exactly sure. And it also might depend. I think that's why the health bar is so useful for a lot of people, or whoever uses health bar on Ascension and stuff. It's hard to tell how much health you have with the trap because I think it depends how much time you're in there, and I don't think it's exactly 1 hit or 2 hits what it does to you. I
yeah. I
think.
mean, I know on Verrucht, I remember watching Slayer do that strat.
Hmm.
Verrucht is only a one hit trap. On BO3, you run through the trap and get hit twice, you're dead. And I remember I know there's a ferret clip of him getting like running through the trap and getting hit like 4 times, and he's like still alive. I don't know if you know the clip I'm talking about.
Mm-mm.
Like it was pretty insane. Like he ran through the trap, gets absolutely destroyed by the zombies, but like still somehow alive, and then ends up dying at the end. But I mean, like it shows you like BO1 traps are definitely weaker than BO3 traps, as in like how much damage they do, and that
Yeah.
just it makes it harder to do trap strats
Hmm.
on BO1, 1,000%.
Yeah, BO3 is a hard game. I mean, depending on how you play it, BO3 can definitely be a hard game. But yeah, it's different. A lot of people like to shit on BO3 for being easy, but they think it's like if you use megas, yes,
Yeah,
BO3 is easy, but
yeah. I mean, I play megas a lot. I don't. I play megas for fun. Like I don't
hmm,
care. I just
yeah.
don't care. I mean, if I was going around bragging saying I have megas, obviously that's a problem. But I don't care. I go for a high round for fun. And when I'm bored, sick of restarting,
Hmm.
I'll just go for megas high round. And I mean, it's chill. It's fun. If I can get a world record, whatever. I don't care.
But you're
It's not
trying to
like
play fast though, right? Like
yeah.
you're
I
that's
do.
completely different than like
Yeah.
casual megas players that like pop in a power vac and round robin and that kind of crap that isn't
So I know.
even allowed.
I tried doing this. I actually might do this again. I was doing an Ascension 255 speed run.
Hmm.
I know, like, I want to see how fast I can do it. Like at the beginning of every round, grab a mega and go to power and see how fast, like how much long I can stay there. Then at the end of every round, go down to the training. At 150, because I ended up having to quit out of my game. At 150, I was 9 hours in. So I'm not sure how fast that is. There's no 255 time yet. So I was to see how fast. But I know the world record is like 55 hours by affirmed, which is like classics though. So obviously, I mean,
So
I was gonna
sub 50,
get
probably.
something 1,000%. Because imagine like 220 at the beginning of the round. I'm using raindrops, then using alchem, and then go train.
Mhm.
That round would be pretty fast compared to like a classics game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. So I mean, yeah, I definitely want to go back for that. But I mean, nothing else really interests me. And high round wise.
Yeah, the only way I would ever go back to Ascension BO3 would be to play a 100 SR. But besides that, I'm never playing that piece of shit fucking map ever
Yeah.
again. So bad. After I play, well, I mean, first of all, a 63-hour game took me 21 days to play. So
Oh,
I played like 3 hours a day on average. It was awful, so boring, the worst time of my life. I hated myself playing it. And then after it, I went into some sort of like ascension depression and just lost all motivation to do anything. And I just wasn't having a good time. Like that map destroyed me for a month. It was not good.
God. That sounds horrible. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
I know Nick did that too, right? The
Hmm.
255.
But he
God.
didn't take as long as I did, like IRL time. He
Yeah.
definitely took I played it for 3 weeks, so having to suffer through that for 3 weeks made it worse.
25-day error, man. God.
I was scared of that when I was playing. I wasn't worried about anything else. I was just like, okay, I need to finish this game before 25 days, or else all this time is gonna go to waste. And
That'd be hilarious if you had 25-day error.
yeah, I was just taking days off and just having days where I played like an hour, and it was just, oh,
Yeah.
I was miserable. The only thing that got me through that was I started listening to full albums when I was doing that. So yeah, I was
Okay.
enjoying music. I did not pay attention to the game. Let's say I'm looking at you. This is the game. This was me the whole time. Like I was playing the game looking at chat, like just looking at the game with my peripheral vision, just glancing every so often. It's that easy and brain dead. Like I did not pay attention to the game at all.
I mean, I think Ascension 1,000% in all of zombies because people just think because Rev is fast that it's the easiest. I mean, Rev is definitely easy. I'm not saying it's hard. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely think it's easy, but I think Ascension, you literally just train and shoot your AAT. Rev it's really hard for it to go wrong, but I mean, like, if you break spawns and the zombie spawns behind you, you can get trapped easily. The
Mm-hmm.
Margwas can insta kill you. Panzers can insta kill you if you don't pull out your T gun fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's definitely easier to die on Rev than to be on Ascension. I,
Yes.
I can't think of another map where Ascension is harder. I mean, D Machine can even go wrong faster than Ascension.
Well, D Machine and Firebase C, the rounds are so ridiculously short. So I would
I
like
guess. Yeah.
if we're comparing 255s.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 63-hour 255 has a lot more opportunities to go wrong. And also, who cares if you down on Cold
D
War
Machine.
because there's no punishment. So even if the strat was super hard, which I wouldn't say it is, it doesn't matter because you can die as many times as you want and just keep.
Yeah, never mind. I forgot there's infinite. If you're doing it with 3 downs, maybe. But
Oh, sure. If you're doing it with 3 downs, D Machine would be way harder than
yeah, I
Ascension.
forgot about the self revives
Well,
actually.
I don't know. To 255, I don't know.
Two-
Because it's so fast.
When
It's
they get
like,
to the point where you have to buy ammo in between each round, like
mhm,
not in the middle of a round, it can get risky because it
mhm.
is sprinters, and if your armor breaks, I mean, it actually can. You can die fast.
Oh yeah, they hit you super fast and hard, but I think these decoys, when I played the
Oh
first
yeah,
week, decoy wasn't the meta, so I never used them. But now that people use decoys on the map, it makes it way easier. But those can fail, so
man,
yeah.
100. Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah. So last thing in the ZWC topic, I know we got a little bit off topic, but that's what we like to do here. We like to talk about anything that comes to our minds. But
Yeah.
So, what are your plans for Vegas? Like, talk me through it. What are you gonna do that weekend?
Other than it's hard to think because it's still 3 months, not 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
2 months. So I mean, my plan is to bring my brother and my cousin. I
Mm-hmm.
know my brother. Okay, my cousin said he wants to pay for his ticket, but I mean, I feel bad obviously, but he said he doesn't care. He like just wants to support me, so he's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. I mean, I'm planning on bringing them. I mean, it's not really much we can do there. I mean, it's not like I can gamble or anything. So, I mean, maybe my brother will, but I mean, my plan is really just go there, chill. I'll probably hang out with Kookie and like all of them. It's gonna be sick meeting people. I know Jay Scrine is going. He's awesome. I know there's a lot of like Caleb Ross. I know he's going.
Bro, I'm
So
fucking jealous, dude. I'm jealous. I wanna go.
I told Kookie, let's stream. We're gonna have a Monopoly game and stream it on his channel. Stream
Dude.
Monopoly IRL. That sounded hilarious.
Bro, I wish I could meet you, Kooky, Hole, Nick. Nick lives really close to probably I mean, he's like 20 minutes away, so
That's
I'm yeah,
yeah.
so I would meet Nick. I think I don't know if Mikey said he was going. He said he might go, but
It would
yeah.
actually that would make sense because he's. I know Mikey's known Cole for a long time. The same thing with actually the one. But yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to meet everybody. I wish there was more people, but I will.
Yeah. This
Yeah, it'd be
I've been
hard.
super excited for a zombies community meetup. I've been talking about it for a while,
Yeah, I
and
saw you tweet.
just now isn't the best time for a full meetup or anything. I understand ZWC because like it's an actual event and stuff, but yeah, hopefully next year maybe we can organize some sort of meetup, or at like a Twitch con or maybe the next ZWC, but we'll
Yeah.
see. I'm gonna be meeting up with Calvin and Sped possibly soon.
Where does Calvin live?
Like they live relatively close to where I am. I'm in Davis, which is like around Sacramento, which is the capital of California. So they're around this area. I don't know specifically
I
where.
didn't know he lived in California. That's interesting. Yeah.
There's actually a good amount of people in the community that live in California that I know of.
The
But
only way I live near, I live like Zato lives like 30 minutes away from me.
where are you
You know,
from?
I'm from Chicago.
Okay, okay.
I'm from Chicago. My dad had a store that was like 5 minutes away from Zato.
hmm
Yeah, so like we're really close.
Are you guys
So
gonna meet up?
I don't know. I mean, Zato. I don't think. I mean, Zato. Haven't. I mean, I talked to Zato, but like he quit zombies, so I don't think enough of anything interested in. Plus, like I don't know how old he is. How old he is. He's like 20 something.
Oh,
I'm yeah,
yeah.
you know. I also live close to Jay Scrine. Not insanely close, but I live like 40 minutes, hour. That's really the only people I know of. I know there's a lot of people from like the Michigan area.
A
A
lot of
lot of
people
people.
from where?
Michigan,
Okay,
Michigan, and like I think it's not what's Ontario. Is that what's above Michigan, Canada? I think so.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that live in that area because I know. I mean, a lot. I know like Pookie, Sway. I know Bull lives near me too in Illinois, so there's a lot I know of about that. But not a lot of people like really close to me.
hmm Yeah, I've always wanted to meet up with people in the community because like I talk to these people every single day. Like we basically know each other. All we need to
Yeah,
do now is just meet in person, you know?
yeah. I remember seeing like tweets about it. Like people are just like meet the people you talk to online. It's just something because like in real life, like you just judge people by their appearance
Mm-hmm.
and that will determine if you want to talk to them or not.
Mm-hmm.
Online, it's just like personality. It's just talking to people. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's really just like you know that first, and then you get everything after.
Mm-hmm.
And that really should be how friendships are started. But obviously, it'd be hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's more, I don't know if I'd say authentic, but you're gonna be able to get to know somebody
Way
better
better.
online without any other like biases that you would have. But yeah, just like talking to someone, and I mean, even not even by voice, because you can
Yeah.
still like come like based on the way somebody talks, be like, oh, this guy's ghetto, maybe I don't want to be friends with him or something like that. But just like typing on the internet, you can get to know someone, and then when you talk to them with voice chat, you're more likely to like them already because you already talked to them, and then when you see them in person, you're even more likely because like you know what they sound like, you're already friends with them. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I, it's not even that too. It's, I forgot what I was gonna say. God.
Yeah, yeah, I've never met somebody from the internet before. Like I've never had a friend from the internet that I've met in person, but
Yeah, definitely. I never. I mean, that'd be so sick.
hmm
It'd be weird. I feel like it'd be super awkward at the first,
hmm
but like after, it'd be so cool. It's like just meeting everybody. But yeah,
hmm
that's definitely what I'm most excited for. Is definitely meeting everybody. I don't even care if I lose. I think I'm not gonna get first place. I
hmm
think I think it's pretty obvious. But I mean, like even if I lose, it's fine. It's really just the experience. I mean, my Twitch channel probably lose from no matter what.
hmm
So if I don't win, it's totally fine. I get to meet everybody, have a great time, and play video games. I mean, it's living life, I guess.
Yeah, that's sick, dude. I'm gonna try to watch it on stream and stuff and like
Yeah,
react to it and talk about it. Because it seems like it'll be an interesting event because I know a few people that are gonna be participating in it. And it'd be interesting to see the content creators get shit on. So
yeah, man. I hope so, man. That'd be embarrassing. Lose Tim Malcolm.
Bruh,
God,
imagine you lost to some content creators that are casuals.
so mad, dude. My Twitter would just be nonstop.
You would never live that shit down.
ZombieDawg is gonna be trending number 3 on Twitter, bro. It's
Oh,
cool, dude.
yeah. Well, maybe by participating in ZWC, winning the challenge, getting the SOEWR, maybe that'll help you get into Obey Undead. So that is our
Cool.
next topic, Obey Undead. Mr. ZombieDawg over here went for Obey Undead, and he got into the top 50, and he got into the top 25, but unfortunately did not make it into the top
10,
10.
11, really, but
Yeah.
it stopped. Whatever.
So why did you what made you want to go for Obey Undead?
Well, I thought it was gonna be a competitive team.
Mm-hmm.
I originally thought it was gonna be a team where we went for world records. Everybody had their own thing. This guy did Easter egg speed runs. This guy did high rounds. And I mean, I thought the whole community was gonna get behind it. Really, that's what I originally thought. That
Mm-hmm.
then I realized, as the top 50 went on, I realized more people were like saying how Obey Undead isn't gonna do anything. And I mean, I led with it. I kept going with it because I believed that it would go down a competitive path. I mean, the bio on Twitter literally said world records, tournaments, and much more.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, from that, it should tell you that it's a competitive team. But obviously, we found out definitely not the competitive team it was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I was very surprised that the top 25 selection, that Stealth didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
That really made no sense to me. When he didn't make it, I knew I wasn't gonna make it top 10. Honestly, that's when I was like, yeah, because the only way. Okay, I'm not a content creator. I'm a competitive player. So when I knew he wasn't gonna make it, I was like, there's a really good chance I'm not gonna make it because they're obviously looking for content and not world records. If they're looking, if they're looking anything for world records, they definitely pick Stealth, but I guess not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I came into your stream for the first time, you kind of like gave off a content creator vibe. Like I joined your chat, you said hi to me, like you asked me how I was and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's just because like I'm a streamer that you knew, but I mean, coming into your stream, it's not like you're some mute mic type of person that doesn't talk to chat at all. Like, I mean, not all content creators are going to be exactly the same. Like, yo, what is going on, guys? All that kind of stuff. And just like, yeah, like every content creator is different. And I mean, even if they weren't prioritizing competitive zombies, I still think like you had a chance. Like I still think so. But
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the people who made it, I definitely think that it was all based on content. People that made it.
mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, I mean, my video I also knew from like the challenge description of the third video. Thereon, I definitely knew I wasn't gonna make it after that. I definitely tried my hardest, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they asked for Firebase Z, and I gave them BO3. So
Good. Good.
yeah,
Cuz
I did
that
what I want. I did what I wanted.
no, that's what you should do. I mean, so I like Undead. I'm gonna say that now. I've had mixed feelings. When they first came out, I was excited, and then when the top 25 came out, I was a little bit like confused and disappointed because I thought Stealth should have made it. And then when they came out with the third challenge, I was like, why are they catering this towards Cold War? I don't like Cold
Yeah.
War. It's a shit game. And then I just well, I dropped out of the RC
Mm.
because I was just like, I'm not feeling this anymore. But I came to the realization that like it's okay to be about content. Like I'm a content creator, and I understand them wanting to be about content because that's what's going to bring in the most views. And not necessarily competitive zombies in BO1 or BO3 is going to get them popularity. So maybe if
Yeah.
they want to build the foundation of their team off content, and after they get like some sort of viewer base, build off of that into more competitive stuff, I think that's a pretty good idea. Like Grizzly said, we barely had the team going. Like he commented on one of my videos. He said, we barely had the team going. Like we haven't had any tournaments or anything like that yet because we just started, We have all this stuff planned for the future. So like I understand that. I'm
Yeah.
still a little bit upset about Stealth not making the top 25 because I think he was the most skilled player in there, but their argument was that he wasn't enthusiastic. And I see that somewhat,
I
but that's
understand.
just
Yeah.
his personality. I mean, that's just how he talks. He has a southern accent and he talks slow. Like
Yeah.
it's not realistic to expect him to like talk the way me and you are talking right now. Like
Yeah.
with that sort of like he's enthusiastic, but it's just his voice is different. And like if you watched his podcast with me, he was very interested in what he was talking about in that, but it's not like he was super upbeat or talking super
Yeah.
fast or anything like that. So
There's just some people that just don't talk with enthusiasm. I
mm-hmm.
mean, I wish they just didn't say like. I mean, they advertised it like it was competitive.
Mm-hmm.
They advertised like it was both, like it was the best of both worlds. Like we're gonna have content creators and we're gonna have competitive players. I thought that would have been sick. Like they
Mm-hmm.
had 5 competitive players, 5 content creators. And I mean, one of the questions was how many world records do you have? I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
that question literally meant nothing. That question meant absolutely. I mean, like
Kuki, Earthamon. Yeah, Kuki and Earthamon are both very, very skilled
yeah,
players who made it onto the team. And I'm pretty sure there were some others. Like I know there were Cold War world record holders definitely on the team.
yeah, Dez. I know Dez. Well, the thing is, Kuki and Earthmon are very like content. Kuki's very entertaining.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
Kuki's very like he might even be more of a content creator than world record player to be honest. But like his stream, his content is going for world records,
Mm-hmm.
and he makes that so entertaining. Like he just
Mm-hmm.
cracks jokes, reads chat. He like plays along with like he's a funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Earthmon, Earthmon might not be the most entertaining player. I'd say, but at the time, he got reacted to Noah J probably like 5 times. I think at
Mm-hmm.
that point, averaging like 100 viewers. I do understand why he made it on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like that'd be the 2 best players, and I understand why both of them did make it. I think if Stealth got reacted to Noah J 5 times, I think he would probably be on the team also.
Yeah,
Just
it's
opinion.
it's just because I think they mainly picked up newer game players. Like they picked up Cold
Yeah,
War players that were skilled. Although Kuki and Earthamon I wouldn't say are Cold War players necessarily. Like Kuki's an all game player. Earthamon's played BO4, BO3, Cold War, all that kind of stuff. But they're both very skilled at Cold War, and because they were skilled at Cold War, it it probably helped them with the pickup. And I do get why they prioritize Cold War. I don't like
Yeah,
it, but
I
I
understand.
do get it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the channel. Like they want to see what you're gonna do when a new map comes out. Like,
Mhm,
what content are you gonna bring to the table when there's a new map? I understand that, but like, you shouldn't have advertised it in the beginning like it was a competitive team.
mhm,
Because I wouldn't even have went for it if I knew how it was gonna be in the end. Because this is what the challenge was. Is saying you don't have to do Firebase Z, but
mhm.
we would prefer you to.
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna say, well, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna play BO3 when you would rather me play Firebase Z, and I'm trying to make your team. So I mean, I didn't care. Like, that's when I found out the challenge. I was like, I'm gonna do what I want. And they said if you're not gonna play Firebase Z, do something that you've never done before on zombies.
Mhm.
So I went and did all the Easter eggs on BO3, and I actually made a really funny video. I I did the SOE Easter egg. Might have been one of the funniest things I've ever done. I'm not gonna lie.
And you didn't that's a good idea. Like, I mean, I would say playing Firebase Z and trying new stuff out of it isn't the most creative thing in the world because they wanted creativity, but doing all the BO3 Easter eggs when you haven't done them before and making a funny video out of it, that's super creative. That's super cool. Like,
Uh-huh.
I didn't get to watch your video. I probably will later, but that's a great idea. And it's not like it's easy. Also, for me doing the Easter eggs for the first time on BO3, it was really hard. It took me like a month or two to actually complete them. And I never even completed Rev and I did Easter eggs for a couple months. Like
Yeah, I mean, no, this is. I mean, that was so much fun playing doing the Easter eggs for the first time. I
mhm,
mean, I enjoyed it. I did know because I mean, like, you have to know your competition also.
mhm,
And I mean, you have Genesis who's averaging like 150 viewers. Like,
mhm.
how are you not gonna pick him up? That'd
Yeah.
be insane. Like Kooky, I already knew for a fact Kooky would make it.
Mhm.
Link owns the Discord, helped out so much with everything with Undead. I understood why he would make it. And then I mean, everybody else, I mean, was kind of just like up for grabs. But I mean, I kind of knew when I saw the first two people getting announced. I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Like, I think I really later on. I did like the video I made. I did like my videos.
Mhm.
The videos
That's
I made
good.
for Obey Undead were very, like, probably one of my best videos, to be honest.
I mean, at least they got you to create some good content, you know?
Yeah,
Like you may not have made the team, but you made some of your best
definitely.
content.
I mean, so many people. I got so much. If you look, I can look at my analytics. Like, my streams peaked. Would average like 1 to 3 viewers, like three to like yeah, like 2 to 3 viewers for
Mhm.
Obey Undead. And I mean, after Obey Undead, like, I went up to like 5 to 10 viewers, I'd say. And then I mean, now ZWC, I got a lot of viewers also, obviously because of
Mhm.
me playing SOE. So I mean, yeah, Obey Undead definitely helped me out, and I am thankful for that. I hoped to make the team, but obviously it's fine. So it helped me out in other ways than just not making it.
So, so I understand that the content aspect you're not super interested about, but the competitive you are. So
Yeah,
let's say they have you on to the team because you're still a part of the grinders. I don't really know how that works. I guess they're just
yeah, I have
recruiting
no idea
people.
either.
I mean, as long as you're like part of the grinders, they're trying to recruit people. They could recruit me, they could recruit you, but let's say they recruit you. What and you had a decision. What would you want the team to do? Like using your skills, your knowledge, anything like that. What would you try to do with the team?
I mean, I would try and run, like, make the team more wider than just Cold War and BO3, because it
Mm-hmm.
really seems like it's just Cold War right now. I want it to be cross platforms, because they have to realize something. If you want to, you have to win the community, and by winning the community, you can't just run content. Because to be honest, you're not going to grow like that. If you can make content and good quality content across all games,
Mm-hmm.
from World at War to from World at War to Cold War, that'd be awesome. Imagine a team with Krups, Slayer,
Mm.
Kooky, and Chris Voltage.
Yeah,
Like,
that would be
that'd be
insane. And they have
exactly
all the other content creators as well. So they can have a
exactly
mix of content with zombies and also some very, very skilled players. And then they can mix the two.
yeah.
Content creators can help out the more skilled players and they can make videos together. Like Krups is probably a hybrid. Krups knows a lot about the game and he's good. And also, I would consider him a content creator. He knows how to make videos and talk to chat and all that stuff. So, I mean, Krups, the video he's making right now, I think he's talking about speed running in the zombies community. That could have been something that could have been an Obey Undead video if he was in Obey Undead and he went for
Yeah.
it. And then there's like Fire Em also is working on a video, I believe. I think he's working on a like history of Kino world record video. All those things would be super interesting to do with Obey Undead, and I hope that they're open to like reaching out to these players. And because the thing is, these players aren't going to come to Obey Undead and be a
Yeah.
grinder and ask about it. They need, if they want to diversify their channel and their brand, they got to go out and scout and find these people. I think MC is very useful for this. MC could possibly find people.
1000%.
I mean, I think if I was on the team, I would love to do some recruiting to just like evaluate people and like report back to Grizzly, Greg, MC. I just think that right now they're starting out the team and it does have potential as long as they're willing to diversify and stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, like imagine like a video where it was like how to speedrun Revelations. I know they did a video like that, so they did how to speedrun Revelations, and then next video how to high round town.
Yes.
With Chris Voltage, and then like it would be so perfect. And then they have the content creators to do reverse Rainbow Perk Challenge and Origins. Another video later, then they can do like the history of world records with Krups. Like it'd be good and it'd be perfect. I feel like they're forcing out this Cold War content too much, and it's kind of annoying. Like the Zom quiz idea, that is so good. It's a good idea.
I like it.
It's definitely like a recycled idea, but I mean like it's definitely a fine idea. It's free content basically. I mean they're doing fine, but I mean I just wish they expanded more. Cold War. That's not to BO1 and World at War. That would make it a good team.
Yeah, I hope they're using like Cold War content as a foundation to get people interested, because that's what the majority of zombies lovers are into right now. And then they can spread out. If that's their plan, that's super smart. But like looking at their videos right now, funny public Firebase Easter egg, I'm not a huge fan. But then they go to solo Revelations Easter egg speedrun world record. So like Kooky talking about his world record. That's cool. That's BO3. And then they have how to speedrun Firebase like Earthamon that has Earthamon talking through his speedrun, which I don't like Cold War, but I think that's also very interesting. Then they have 2 Zom quizzes. They have the Zombies trick shotting, which I was super opposed to at first, but after watching it, it's fucking sick. Zombies trick shotting is actually really cool.
It's cool. It is very cool to watch, but I mean, it's not impressive at all. Like it doesn't it's an honest opinion. Like think about like it's a zombie. Like how are you gonna compare it? I mean, it's cool. It definitely looks cool. Like the trick shots he does, but my opinion, it's not impressive because like it's a zombie.
Let me see you do some zombie trick shotting, dude. Let me see you do that shit.
Give me a week, I can hit a shot probably. Right? Okay, I mean it's solo. I think it's literally impossible. Can you even hit a shot solo?
I'm not sure, but I don't think it's the skill in actually hitting the zombie. I think it's the skill in like spinning around, switch weapon, pull out the nade, do all that kind of weird shit, and then in addition to that, you need to hit the zombie. And also like whoever's editing it is making it look insane.
That's OJ. Yeah, actually OJ is really cool. They joined together. That's why there's 11 people and not 10.
Okay.
OJ is the editor and Messi is the trick shotter.
That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah, it's cool, but I mean, like, I don't know. It's definitely new. I think that was really cool. I've never seen a zombies trick shotter before.
Yes.
But like, it's kind of, and it's definitely like hard to do all the insta swaps and stuff. But I feel like if you've been trick shotting for a long time, all you need to do now is just know how to aim and shoot the zombie.
Exactly.
I'm gonna assume that Messi has been trick shotting for a long time and just put it into zombies. So yeah, I mean it's definitely a unique idea though. I mean it's definitely unique.
Yeah, I like it, and I think it's a good addition to the team for sure. And I'm glad they're making that kind of content. No matter if it's the easiest thing in the world or not, there's not many people doing it, and it's cool.
I can agree with that actually. Yeah, definitely.
And also one last video that they had, which I also think is super cool. It's a DOA, Dead Ops Arcade, tricks and tips with NATO. So they recruited NATO as a Dead Ops Arcade player. And a lot of people know about Dead Ops Arcade, but they don't really know the specifics on how to do things. Like, I know what Dead Ops Arcade is. I do not know how the fuck to play it. And having a video like that seems pretty interesting. And
Exactly.
like, although their content is primarily Cold War right now, there's only like one non-Cold War video really, and then the zombie quizzes. I think they're still doing a good job of diversifying their content within Cold War, doing different things. And like, I'm happy with the content that's been uploaded so far. I'm excited to see what comes next. And if they pick me up, if they pick you up, and hopefully if they go out into the community and recruit some more people, that would be fucking great.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's just what I hope for for them to just expand. That's even if I don't get recruited, I'm totally fine with that. I would love to see a team for zombies that branches all the way to World at War. That'd be so
Mm-hmm.
cool. It'd just be cool to see. Like, it'd be awesome to have. I don't even care if there's Cold War on it. Like, if there's Cold War players and World at War players, cool. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even if there's content creators too to do like content stuff, also, that'd be so cool. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think having that diverse of audience or diverse of content can definitely expand your audience with how many what people want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
You have everything, the best of both worlds. There's a lot of people that watch Krubs, watch like Chris Voltage, watch all these high round players, but don't actually participate in high rounds themselves just because they don't want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's a big community that people don't even realize that there's a lot of people that just watch and don't really compete. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like Undead can pick up that whole view, that audience, just by expanding their team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seems like they don't want to do that right now though, but I hope they do eventually.
Mm-hmm. Like, I wouldn't watch Cold War content if it was
Yeah,
just out there for me, but if they were uploading some Black Ops 1 content or they recruit people I know like they did, like, I'm
yeah,
gonna watch an Earthamon video. I'm gonna watch a Kooky video, even if it's Cold War. I know those guys. I like those guys, so I'm gonna watch it. So let's say they recruited me or they recruited you. ZombieDawg fans are gonna watch the ZombieDawg
exactly.
video, and they might be recommended some other Undead video and happen to watch it. And people who like Big Mike are gonna watch the Big Mike videos, and maybe they're gonna subscribe to the channel and watch some other things. So if you can find different people in different parts of the community, then you're more likely to get more views, more engagement, and all that stuff, because it's not everyone that watches my video or your video is going to watch all the
Yeah,
videos, but there's still a percentage of people that will. And yeah, I think that would be great.
yeah. No, it definitely. I want them to so bad, but
Mm-hmm.
I hope this Cold War thing will only last until last DLC, and then they want to expand, or like maybe until the Gauntlet thing. If you do combine with them for that, that'd be so perfect. I hope for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that brings us into my competitive zombies tournament idea. So yeah, what ZombieDawg was just talking about there, he was saying my gauntlet. Well, I had an idea of starting some sort of zombies tournament. Because of ZWC, I wasn't really happy with the challenges, how it was dealt with, all that kind of stuff. So I was thinking, you know what? Let me make my own sort of tournament. And my idea for a tournament is completely different from theirs, though. It would be a bracket style tournament. So instead of having 8 different challenges and having the top person move on to the next round, we would have one challenge that everybody would be doing. So it's a bracket. Let's say, for example, we have 16 participants. There would be 8 people on this side and 8 people on this side. And within those 8 people, that would mean there would be 4 1v1s on each side. So there would be a challenge. Let's say this is the first one. So something small, something short. It would be a 30 speedrun on Doris, maybe. And everybody is going to be doing the 30 speedrun on Doris. But instead of having the top one move on, you have these 1v1s, 4 on each side. And the winner from each little 1v1 is going to move on to the next challenge. Maybe the next one is a 50 speedrun. Maybe it's something else. I don't know at this point, but this is just the idea. The winner from that will move on and then move on. All that kind of stuff until we get to a 1v1. And the cool thing about this is we're going to try to spectate and we're going to try to commentate over these challenges. So me and FireM hopefully will be able to put these games on our channels, talk over it, maybe have some special guests for content purposes, some like funny people, some people that are knowledgeable, any of that kind of stuff. And I think it's a really good tournament idea. And I wanted to see if Obey Undead would be interested, maybe in funding the prize pool, maybe in just spreading the news about it. But I think it
Yeah,
would be interesting. What do you think about that,
that
Zombie
would be
Dog?
that would be awesome. I think that is super perfect for the community, especially if it's a tournament style. Because like it'd be awesome to have like a tournament with a bunch of elite players
Mm-hmm.
competing, and like anybody can shoot their shot, right? Maybe you can get teamed up. Hopefully, your goal is not to go against Mirage in the 30 SR for the region, but like, I mean, that'd be cool. Definitely different. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in Zombies, a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a good idea, though.
Yeah, I want to make it so competitive players are interested because
Yeah,
ZWC didn't appeal to a lot of competitive older game players. So I want this to be like, I want people to go hard. I want them to care about it. And I just think that this is a really good possibility. And as long as we can get one or two big players to participate, like I think I talked to Fleur, he said it was interesting. I assume Niraj would also be interested.
yeah, Mirage is
May,
definitely down there.
maybe other people, like maybe Furret would want to participate,
Yeah,
maybe Slayer, and the more big players we have come in, the more big players are also going to want to play. And then also, I would assume that some of the smaller players are like, oh, yeah, this streamer I watch, he's doing it. Maybe I'll do it too.
well,
So,
you said it was $5, right? $5 buy-in.
$5
So
entrance fee, hopefully.
yeah, I mean, $5. Yeah, I mean, anybody can spend that money, give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody, like, I mean, obviously it'd be kind of dead if you got paired up with Niraj first round. That'd be kind of
Mm-hmm.
annoying. But like, if I get paired up with some random guy that's never played the Reese either, I'd be so down to learn the map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's $5, so it's not like it's a crazy amount of money, So I think that'd be perfect. It's a
Yeah.
good idea.
So, Zombie Dog, would you participate in the tournament?
1,000%,
Let's go.
100%. Like, I gotta know the challenges. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
gotta know the range of games also.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely.
Most likely, it would be between like World at War, BO1, BO2, and maybe BO3. I think it depends because right now I'm trying to go towards the older players, like the people that are playing the older games. And I know a lot of people like BO3, but BO3 isn't as competitive as something like BO1. And I think players will be more likely to play if it's World at War through BO2. But I guess I'm probably going to put out some polls on Twitter, try to find
Yeah,
out what people want to see. And because I'm doing this so the community can enjoy, like I wouldn't be making money off this or anything. I think it would be fun to do.
so cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
and if you can reach out to Obey Undead,
mm-hmm,
if you can get MC and have MC somehow connect that'd be awesome.
mm-hmm,
So if Obey Undead was able to get their fan base also around it, and that would be something perfect for that, especially because that'll get a lot of casual people to shed
mm-hmm,
light on the B1 community. Because even if Obey Undead was a part of it, and I would hope it wasn't even a part of BO3, I would want it to only be BO2, BO1, and World at War,
mm-hmm,
just so people would watch and realize how like impressive these other games are. And 600 on Cold War is literally nothing compared to A100 on Ascension.
mm-hmm,
You know,
yeah,
so like it'd be so cool, and I think it'd be such good content. Watching like Fireman versus Zomba and who can get 100 faster, like that'd be so cool. It'd be
yeah.
awesome.
That would be super sick.
Yeah,
And even if the casuals aren't participating, let's say Obey Undead is involved, I want the casuals to watch. Maybe
yeah,
when the casuals watch, they'll get into the game and start playing it. Maybe they'll start watching other people play it as well. And yeah, it's just doing something like this and oh shit, my microphone, being able to connect with the mainstream, um, it would be huge for the community. And I think it's one of the best ways for our community to find some growth with some good competition and just spreading
Yeah,
it by word of mouth.
I mean, everybody was a casual at one point.
Hmm.
Everybody literally was a casual at one point, and can't deny that. Nobody went right into a high round.
Yeah.
Like at one point, I was looking for group posts on Xbox. Who wants to do Dice and Jack Easter egg? I swear to God, I was doing like everybody was casual at one point. And I mean,
Yeah.
everybody has to start somewhere. And I mean, it's really just the motivation to be like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to high round competitively. And as
Hmm.
soon as you get that like, boom, this is how you do it. You gotta learn, put the time into it, everything like that, and then you become a competitive player. And the casuals just need that motivation, and this tournament can give them the motivation to start high rounding themselves and become a great player like Furret or like Slayer. You
Hmm.
know, this would be perfect. And I think Obey and Dead behind it would make it 10 times better.
Hmm. Yeah, as long as it was under control by me and Fire Em, and we were
Yeah,
making decisions, and Obey Undead kind of was like, I don't know if I would say sponsoring, but just like spreading it and like promoting it and stuff, and maybe having their players like get involved in it. Like endorsing it's probably the best word.
yeah,
Yeah, endorsed by Obey Undead. I think would be great. And I also think it would be great for growth of their channel too. Like if they wanted to
yeah.
stream me and Fire Emblem commentating and talking over the games, like go ahead. I think it would be a super interesting arrangement. So,
Yeah. I mean, and after this, maybe a month later, you can hold a Easter egg tournament,
mhm.
and for BO3
Yes.
and BO4 and Cold War maybe,
Hmm.
because that'd be awesome. And then get the Easter egg side of it, and get both communities, because that community is as big as the BO1 community. I'd say,
Hmm.
especially to how many people do Easter egg speedruns now. There's a lot of new players
Hmm.
that people haven't realized. I mean, that would be awesome to have both tournaments. I mean, obviously do the BO1 first because that would
Hmm.
be definitely better.
Hmm.
But after that, search the waters, see what's nice.
Yeah, I'd probably talk to Kooky and see what we can organize because he's an entertaining guy, very knowledgeable, very good at the game.
Yeah,
So, and he's in Obanded already, so that would also
yeah,
make it
that help a
easier.
lot.
I think the Easter egg one would probably have more participants because more people are familiar with Easter eggs.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
yeah, get this high round slash speed run one in now, and then maybe within a few months go into the Easter egg one. And let's say people like it, we make some changes according to what people like and what people don't like. We have a new one. Maybe we'll have more funding because more participants, so bigger
yeah,
prize pool and more people watching, so people are more likely to play. And it's just like if we become successful with this, it can keep growing and growing. It'll grow me, which is nice. It'll grow the people participating, grow the love for the zombies community, and just kind of expand the competitive community. So,
that's awesome. I've wanted. I mean, ZWC is awesome. I was tournament or like
mm-hmm,
the qualifying, go for these challenges and try to make it a Vegas. That's
mm-hmm,
an awesome thing that I was motivated to go for. A tournament like this would just motivate me as much. I feel like maybe
mm-hmm,
even more because this is gonna boost my channel. I feel like more than what ZWC has done so far. I mean, obviously, I feel like this is a very nice step in the right direction.
mm-hmm. And the
'Cause I,
fact that it's online as well makes it way more accessible. Like
yeah,
I one main reason I didn't go for ZWC besides not liking the challenges was just the fact that I would have to go to a different state and do that kind of stuff during COVID. And I'm pretty sure there's plenty of kids whose parents didn't let them go for ZWC because they didn't want them to go to Vegas or anything like that.
well, you didn't have to.
Yeah, I know you don't have to, but like if I
Like,
told my parents I was going for ZWC, they'd be like,
yeah, yeah.
"Yeah, it's still way more accessible." And I think how much was the entrance fee for ZWC?
10. It
Yep,
was
so
10. Oh, actually, it was $15 if you pre-registered. It was $10.
okay.
Basically, everybody pre-registered, so it was $10. And then, I mean, if you wanted to buy it midway through, it'd be like $20. And then, like last week, it was $40. So I don't know who's buying a ticket last week, but
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean $5 is half of $10, so maybe people would be even more likely to do it. So yeah, should definitely should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I tournament. Yeah, I hope that tournament goes through. You're planning on doing it after, right?
I'm not sure
Well,
when
see,
exactly.
well, well, actually, CWC still has 2 months. So I mean,
hmm
how long are you thinking, or do you not know about that yet? How long do you think it's gonna last?
I don't think it would take that long because I assume the first time wouldn't have that many people. Just maybe like three, a minimum of 3 rounds, I would hope. I
Yeah.
can like mess around with it depending on how many participants. If there's not that many participants, maybe we'll do like 2 rounds per, like 2 challenges per round or something, and
Mhm.
whoever like does better in the 1v1 in the 2 challenges moves on. But I would say maybe like a week or two. Yeah, because
Okay.
I would want to spread it out, because I would want people to be able to watch the challenges. So
Yeah.
maybe we do the 30 for one person on this day, or one-on-one this day, at 2 o'clock p.m., and then the other 1v1 is going to be at like 6 o'clock. So we get two in per day, something like that. But
Yeah. That'd be
yeah.
awesome. If it's, you should definitely try and doing that before ZWC, because ZWC is still like 2 months and a week right now
hmm
from now. So I mean, you definitely can get that in before. It'd be awesome because I could participate in it.
hmm
So that'd be pretty sick. And then
Yeah.
after ZWC, you do the Easter egg one. Yeah. I mean, that's perfect timing. You'll be chilling.
Yeah, I just got to talk to Fire Em, and hopefully we can set it up soon. But
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be awesome for the community, man.
yeah, and hopefully by then we will have a website up for Zombies World Records, because right now, which brings us into our next topic,
Uh huh.
ZWR is in shambles. So
For like the fifth
yeah,
time.
so there's been issues with ZWR the last like few years, I would say. I mean, it start people didn't like ZWR because the owner, Wing slash Darson, whatever his name is, he like disrespected a zombies player that died, I believe. And so a lot of the French players who were friends with this player, um, they started to dislike ZWR. And then I believe throughout time, more and more people started to dislike ZWR, just based on either rule sets or how they conducted their website, or the fact that Wings was the owner. And it's it's been a little bit of a mess recently. So what's been happening, ZombieDawg?
So before I start, uh, what happened was, but when originally ZWR went down and back in the beginning of March, uh, there Berlin, something happened. I don't know the full story, but Berlin shut the site down. Basically, gave it to Wings, and Wings was now running the site. And Wings had no staff members, nothing. So he had to find an owner.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, everybody's like, "Nah, I don't want to be the owner. Well, I'm not gonna go." I just saw what happened to Berlin and Norman or whatever. But then Amir wanted it for the community, and Amir wanted to do this because he knew nobody else wanted to deal with Darrison. So
Mm-hmm.
Amir, by himself, was like, "Let me get the website. I'll own it. I'll run it, make sure it's good." And he was the one that had to deal with Darrison from there on. Nobody else. That's basically the main reason, was that nobody wanted to deal with Darrison. And when I heard Amir was the owner, because at this time Amir like quit the zombies community, basically. He was like silent.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was in VCs here and there, but like he really wasn't playing zombies or anything for like 4 months.
Yeah, I
And
hadn't
out of
seen him in
nowhere,
chats recently as
yeah,
much.
out of nowhere, like owns CWR. So I was like, okay. And I was talking to him about it. I was like, let me be staff. I was staff for Amir because I've known Amir. Amir was like one of the first people to come into my chats back in the day. So I've known Amir since like August, and we got world records together. We have like a 4P first room on Ascension. Yeah, like so me and Amir like our boys. So when I heard he was the owner, I was like, let me be staff. I'll help you out a lot. So that's the only reason I'm staff. I was there to help out Amir.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, the site's back up. I'm perfectly fine. We had our first staff meeting. We're doing subs. Everybody's doing subs. We had like 160 subs at one point, and we finished all of that together as a team in like one day. And like we were getting subs every single day because everybody was resubmitting all the world records. Obviously,
Mhm.
site what happened was the site went back to October 2nd. People didn't know, so every single
Yeah.
record from October 2nd to like March were deleted basically. So we did all of that, resubmitted everything, and everything was fine. And then recently the Cold War bans kicked in, and people are just getting banned out of Cold War for absolutely nothing.
Mhm.
So as a team decision, we decided to ban Cold War submissions, and we were like, because I mean, we don't want to submit games that are broken, and we want to promote people to not play the game because you're gonna get banned if you play it. So we deny all submissions with Cold War. We
Mhm.
close Cold War submissions. If you can't even submit a game that's Cold War related. And we do that. Darrison gets very mad for no reason, and basically goes crazy. He has Hutch, which Hutch is the lead dev behind the website now. He
Mhm.
has Hutch troll the website. He was changing people's flags. I don't know if you saw, but one day the website, everybody's name had an S at the end.
I didn't see
I don't know.
that.
Everybody's name had the S. Like my name was ZombieDawgs. Cookie's name was Cookies. Like it made no sense. And then what happened was when you delete the S, everybody's name that had an S originally at the end, their name also got deleted with the S. So Taco's name was only Taco now. So it was just like it was annoying. Like I don't know why they did that.
Mhm.
And basically Amir said something. He said, "You guys are husband and like you guys are boyfriends." Darrison got mad. We had a huge staff meeting, and Darrison this whole time is just being very trolling, just being Darrison himself. Uh, said a lot of different stuff. How Amir is homophobic. The staff isn't diverse enough. Saying how there's not enough women on the staff, and most the lead race in the staff is white people. Saying all this racist stuff. This call is on Amir's channel, so
Mhm.
if you want to see it, you can see it. Um, he said a lot of stuff about so we do have some people part of the LGBT community on our staff, and he was bringing that stuff up, like making people uncomfortable about how they're gay and saying like how do you feel about like being gay, like all this stuff, like making people uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And this staff meeting is supposed to make the site better and for the future. And this whole time, Darrison is basically just being trolling and just being weird. So Amir and all of them end up leaving. They decide they don't want to be a part of it, and there's now a future. We're planning on getting. There's a lot of plans in the making. I can't really talk about all that stuff, but
Mhm.
there's definitely there's definitely a lot of future plans for ZWR without Darrison. We're planning on doing stuff, making new websites
Mhm.
and everything. So
So,
yeah,
us people that want to submit our world records, we care about having a leaderboard for the community.
yeah.
What can we do at this point? Is there anything we can
So
do?
ZWR is Darrison did find a new administration.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pull it up right now. A lot of people. So the whole thing was our staff members were supposed to be like against Darrison,
Mhm.
but a lot of them did go and onto the staff members of Darrison's do swipe. So he
Mhm.
changed his name to Dracula Mihawk. That's Darrison, but if you look at the administrators are Dracula Mihawk, Uguay, and Shemley. Uguay and Shemley were administrators for us also.
Mhm.
And then right now they only have 15 staff members right now, where we had like 40 something. So they
Mhm.
definitely, if you submit records, they are going to get submitted to ZWR. But our plan is to move on from ZWR and have a better site because there's a lot of people now that do not submit to ZWR.
Mhm.
Like
There's a lot. Yeah,
now there's
because
more. So I mean,
most BO1 players, I would say, don't submit at all. Like they're
yeah,
going for world records, but like I believe Zomba after his 233 didn't submit. Furret, I don't think he submitted his 240. All these
no,
new co-op world records. Krups is against ZWR, even has the ZWR banned in his chat. Like if you type ZWR, it'll block it.
yeah.
It seems like the majority of the competitive community within BO1 is not a fan of ZWR and doesn't
A lot of the
submit.
BO3 players also. Like I mean,
Hmm.
there's definitely a lot of them. And I mean, Darrison, it's just really what Darrison has done in the past. I mean, going into people's chats, being very homophobic, being very like racist. Like I mean, the Mr. JZM stream showed it all. I mean, I honestly that stream really like annoyed me because we're giving this guy a platform to troll and be annoying to everybody. And Mr. JZM was just playing along with it, and I felt bad for him to be honest because like I don't think he realized that at the point, but Mr. JC, Darison's just trolling him, saying all this stuff, and we're giving him a platform to make fun and make these jokes, make fun of Greg
Mm-hmm.
FPS, make fun of Tom Fantasy. Like, I mean, that was annoying. I don't know. What was the
Yeah.
question? I got lost on topic.
I asked what can the community do at this point? The people that want to
Yeah.
like submit their records, should they submit to ZWR right now? Should we just wait and be
Uh,
patient? Or...
I would submit. Just submit the like. Just submit because it's not really like you're supporting there's I mean you're just submitting these are the leaderboards.
Mm-hmm.
How I always look at it is like these are the leaderboards, these are what represents the zombies community. Because in all reality, like this is what got me into the high round community. The ground speed community is from ZWR. Like just scrolling through ZWR, looking at all the records that they were showing, pressing on records, watching them. I ended up getting into zombies like that. So I mean, I would still submit, but in the future, there is going to be new sites,
Mm-hmm.
and when there are new sites, I would say you should definitely submit to there instead of here. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
we should support CWR, but as of right now, I mean it's the only thing we have, so I would say yeah, submit because us, the competitive community, do know how bad Darrison is, but the casuals, Noah J fans, the Mr. T Lex5 fans, they don't know why ZWR is a bad website, and they just
Mm-hmm.
look at ZWR as the leaderboard for zombies. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd say submit no matter what, and nothing else to it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But it's just unfortunate that all this stuff has
Yeah,
happened to ZWR because a lot of us, like, we just want to play zombies and we want to get better and submit our records. And people like Amir and you just want to make the community better. Just hold a site. Just allow people the opportunity to submit their records and have this competition up because I use ZWR all the time. Before all this stuff was wiped, I would just go to ZWR and I would learn strategies by watching the 100 SR. Like if I wanted to learn Ascension, I would go click on the 100 SR on Ascension, and I would see what they do to 100, and that would help me learn the map, how to set up, how to play the like low to mid rounds, and then how to play the high rounds. And with Easter egg speedruns, if I wanted to learn how to do it, I would go watch the world record, and it's so helpful, and it's also a motivation for you to get better, so you can get onto those leaderboards and submit. Even for casuals like we talked about earlier, I think it was before the
yeah,
but even if it's just top 10 on a dead leaderboard, it's fun to do, and
yeah,
it's the door for casuals to transition to the competitive mindset like me. When I first started, I was a casual and I liked doing Easter egg speedruns on Origins BO2 with my friend, and we found ZWR, and then we started to watch the world record strat, and we completely changed how we did it. Before, we would just try to do the Easter egg as fast as we can. We would do all the staffs on one round, and
yeah,
we'd have one person train a zombie. Like, we didn't know any better. And then I went and I found Mikey had the world record, 35:18, I believe it is, on Origins BO2 2P. And we watched the record, and then we started trying to run it. And then Mikey came into our chat and helped us out. And just having that record site there, having the motivation to submit, to get better, and having resources to help you learn is super, super important for growing the
exactly.
community.
It
And
is no 1,000%. And I mean, like when I played zombies, how I looked at ZWR was I what I did. I just did Easter eggs, and
mm-hmm,
I used to just do BO3 Easter eggs over and over and over again, like the same ones: DE, Origins, SOE, whatever.
mm-hmm,
And I mean, like it gets boring after a while just doing it month and month over. So going on ZWR and just seeing like these challenges you can go for. Hey, let's do a 3P no gum, no power round for Rooked. If we get this round, we can get fifth place.
mm-hmm,
And it's like a goal to go for, and it's just fun. You don't have to go for world record.
mm-hmm.
Then you get the round, you submit it, and our name's on the leaderboard. And now let's do another one. You know, it's just a nice segue into the community. And I mean, it's cool, but I mean, it's just I wish there was a new site now, but hopefully soon there is.
Yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to wait. I mean,
Really? Yeah.
yeah, God, I remember being a casual, man. Like, I submitted to ZWR, I got accepted. I'm like, oh my God. I'm
Yeah.
eighth. I'm eighth in the world for Origins BO2 Easter egg speedrun. Do you know how many people play Origins BO2? And I'm eighth in the entire world. And like that's how I thought about it. And I'm sure that's how
Yeah.
many casuals think about it. And it's super cool to do. And
Yeah.
I truly hope that we'll have a stable website soon. Hopefully, this new website will be endorsed by bigger YouTubers, maybe Obey Undead, the high
Yeah.
rounders as well, so we can get the name out there
Yeah.
and like show people that this is a good site. This is where people should submit. And I hope it doesn't flop like ZBC. Because for you guys
Yeah.
that don't know, ZBC was Zombie Community. It started out and it was released too early. It flopped. The staff members left. The site was slow. The owner TTS ended up stopping working on it, which I don't blame him because people weren't using it, and it was
Yeah.
unfortunate. But soon.
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta hope at this point and hope for the best for everybody. Like, I mean, I want there to be a stable website, a nice website that's gonna work,
Mm-hmm.
and that will have a nice staff member. I want to be part. I do want to be part of the new website,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. I do want to be part of it because I need to make sure that even if like my opinion doesn't matter that much, I just want to make sure that everybody is on the same page and no one's gonna just quit midway through because it is gonna take work. Like this is a website we're building for the community,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't win the opinion of everybody in the community either. So, and in the zombies community, like you have to, it's almost like you have to have the same opinion as everybody else to get by. So,
Mm-hmm.
like you gotta make sure you know what you're doing and hopefully whatever this new leaderboard is, it'll do well.
Mm-hmm.
But I just hope ZWR is in the past by next year.
Yeah, me too. And I hope that maybe with this new tournament I'm running or the possible gauntlets I'll do in the future, maybe this new website can host like the bracket leaderboard. Like they'll have a
Yeah,
section for like tournaments and then like, oh, tournament of the weekend of May 5th or something like that. And then you click on that and then it has the bracket show up. It has the people, the challenges, and then all that kind of stuff. And I mean, that would be relatively simple to do. I would assume it could just be an image that I submit. And I mean, if there were clickable usernames or clickable links on the matches, all that kind of stuff, yeah, there's just a lot of potential with the tournament, with the new website and the zombies community in general. And I'm really hopeful for it. I hope it
yeah.
doesn't die.
I mean, I know there's gonna be information about the website soon, but you just gotta just hope for the best and wait. Really, all you can do is wait. Just
Mm-hmm.
submit your games. I'd say just submit your game to ZWR. That's what I'm gonna do. Submit your games because there is still a chance that this all falls through and we're gonna have to submit ZWR still.
Mm-hmm.
And if that doesn't happen, honestly, how I would just look at it, just these are the leaderboards. I don't support anybody that's on staff at this point because it's almost like they're on staff because of they support Darrison at this point. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would just say just submit. These are the leaderboards, and this is how the community is represented. It's not going to get represented by Alexify.
Mm-hmm.
These are how people are going to know the records. Because nobody is going to know off the top of their brain, you know. The not no casual is going to just wonder like, oh, what's the Ascension World Record,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's 233, but it's actually like whatever 240. Well,
Yeah, it's and also not having a like a one leaderboard, a designated leaderboard makes it so there's a lot of variation. And
yeah,
like some people think that 233 is world record, some people think that 240, and then people can't agree on rule sets, and some people think there should be separate leaderboards for patches or for fast rate, all this kind of stuff, and it's just a disaster. And
it is.
hopefully we can come to an agreement on a rule set, have like different categories, different rule sets, all that kind of stuff. And like with this new Derice patch, some people are against it. Like I had one of my frequent viewers come into my chat, exclamation point patch, read it and just said lol in all caps and left. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
I know what
mean,
you're talking
I don't
about.
understand how you're gonna be like somebody who's, I mean, relatively close with me, talks to me all the time,
Yeah,
enjoys my content, and just because I'm running a patch, like just like loses all respect for me. I don't get that. But if we had an actual separate category, which is the plan, like Fleur is using it, Niraj, me, LVs, and hopefully some more people, it has some like increased drop RNG, a set trade average, all that kind of stuff. That's a separate category. Nobody wants it to be in the same category. That's not fair. But if we
Because
have,
yeah,
yeah, it would be like patch Darius category and then the regular Darius category. And if we have a consistent rule set, like, okay, you have to use this specific patch for patch Darius, and you have to use the base patch for regular Darius. We have it on the leaderboard. You can toggle between both. And I think that would be pretty ideal. And I think people would be more willing to accept it if there was a set category for it. Because right now it's just an idea that there's a new category. We haven't actually set anything up. So,
yeah. I mean, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for today's podcast. ZombieDawg, thank you so much for coming on and getting it going with me again.
Pleasure, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on, man.
Yeah, I hope you had a good time. I definitely did.
Yeah, it was I was chilling. It was nice talking about everything. Wide range of content, ZWC to ZWR. So that was awesome. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you kept like talking to me, saying like, yeah, had me on the podcast, because I've just been a little bit unmotivated recently to make a podcast, and I know that once I got back into things, I would be able to make the episodes every week and be good. And after this, I'm like, why the fuck have I not been recording the last 2 months? This is I love doing this kind of stuff. I love talking to people.
Awesome, podcast?
Yeah.
The Zombie needs a podcast.
Yeah, I love talking to people, love talking about issues. I love people seeing my content and enjoying it and having thoughts about it, and just
100%, man. It's a good idea. I love this podcast is a great idea.
It's
actually very unique and everything. Something the Zombies community has never had. I don't think. I mean, there's the 97% optimized, but I mean that was kind of weird, wasn't it?
That was a little bit disorganized, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, this is organized, professional. Exactly what we need.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to the podcast today. If you guys haven't already, click that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Follow us on the podcast platforms at SlowBroz Podcast. And make sure you go into the description on YouTube. Go follow ZombieDawg on Twitch. Go follow him on Twitter. Go check out his YouTube channel. All this stuff. He helped us make this episode happen. You've got to show him some support.
Just press on the link, my Twitch link. I might be suspended for like 5 more hours. So it finishes at 9 p.m. Central Time on Sunday, okay? So if you're watching any time past that, you're chilling. Press the link, but hold up on the link after, okay?
I will upload this. I will set this to upload at 9 p.m. Wait, 9 p.m. your time?
I say it's around 8 p.m. You can do it earlier. It's totally fine. It's totally fine.
No, this needs to like render and all that stuff anyway, so it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, you're good. We'll talk about that. God. Nah. It was fun.
Yeah, it was, man. Thank you, ZombieDawg, once again. And thank you, everybody in the community who's watching this. Casuals, competitive players, spectators, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed it. SlowBroz Podcast is indeed back, and hopefully we'll be having weekly episodes again. I'm going to do my best to bring them out every week with different people. If you guys want to come on the podcast, leave a comment below. Message me on Twitter. Tweet at me. Discord, DM me, come in my stream, literally anything. I'm open to whoever. I love having conversations. Just let me know what you would want to talk about. And yeah, thank you everybody once again, and I will see you guys in the next one.
See ya.
Peace.